Sports Star, your home for the Cowboys. KTFM Floresville and SASportsStar.com. San Antonio's Sports Center.
The College Football Playoff officially has a new format. College Football Playoff leaders today adopted a change to the 12-team expanded playoff model. They're moving to a 5+7 system that incorporates 5 automatic qualifying spots for the highest-ranked conference champions and 7 at-large spots. We're going to talk about that on the Blitz this afternoon. It starts right now.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Tuesday afternoon that feels like a Monday.
For you, it might feel like a Friday already.
It feels like a Tuesday. Yeah, I already did one show today, so that was the Monday show.
Well, good. You warmed up, so you're ready to go for the big show.
I am.
Yeah.
I am. I'm pitching both games of a doubleheader today.
That's it.
I don't need to go to no bullpen.
You'll be all right.
We'll be just fine.
Yeah.
Just fine. Getting it done. Getting it taken care of.
Good weekend?
It was a good weekend.
Three-day holiday thing going on.
Well, it's President's Day, and we talked about this some on Friday. There really aren't President's Day traditions,
right? No.
Now, and it was kind of a weird weekend because I did an event on Sunday with the San Antonio Brahmas, and that's in the middle of the day. It's All-Star Weekend. I don't give a damn. So we went and saw a movie. I went and saw the One Love movie, the movie about Bob Marley and his life. That was actually good. And did a little grilling yesterday, a couple of tri-tips.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
But, my wife worked Saturday and Monday.
So it was really...
And Sunday I had something. So it was just, just kind of a randomly long weekend.
Kind of a weird deal, yeah. No, I had a good one. Well, it was not bad. Played a little golf.
I was going to say you got some sun.
A little sunshine, and so had to dust off the golf clubs because hadn't played in a while. So you dust those off. Didn't play bad, so that's good.
I was going to try to go play golf this weekend, and I say that. The people that I would normally call had other things going on. I was ready to text Pledger, but he was, falling down a mountain in New Mexico, literally.
Yeah,
falling
that's what
down
he said.
A mountain.
You knew that was going to happen. I'm just glad he's not here with a cast on and broken teeth. And
are you?
I mean, I don't really care, but
I kind of fully anticipated some sort of cast, some sort of crutch, some sort of emergency room visit story.
Yeah.
Scars. I mean, the guy can't run 40 yards in a parking lot without scratching up his arms and knees. So, how's he going to fall down a mountain?
All I heard was he's buying lunch this week. He did very well at the craps tables.
Yet he never went to lunch today.
Never did, huh?
So I pull into the parking lot. It was about, 12:25. And James is in the parking lot heading towards his car. And then he greets me at my car and looked disappointed that I didn't have lunch and said, well, I was about to go to lunch. I was like, well, go to lunch. Then we came in the building and we were doing this, had some production to do. And yeah, you're right. I forgot. He won money. He should have gone to lunch and bought for everybody.
He should have taken care of it. He's in there bragging.
Huh?
Tried to offer. I was like, hey, do you want lunch? No, I just had a big breakfast.
You didn't say that. You didn't offer lunch.
I did.
No. You said I was about to go to lunch.
Do you want something?
Do you want? Did you ask that?
Yes, because you said no. I'm full. I just had a really big breakfast.
Wow.
Your words exactly. Do not say that I did not offer.
You did not offer. You asked if I was hungry. You didn't say I'm buying lunch. I'm going here. What do you want?
Well, I didn't have a plan on where to go. That's why I was asking. Hey, do you want something?
You never said you were buying. Because a lot of times I'll hand you money and buy both. And at that point, no.
but
All right.
we established in the WhatsApp I was getting lunch this week.
All right. Well, tomorrow, barbecue station, man. It's on you.
Wait a minute. Did we establish that in the WhatsApp?
I don't think that we did.
I don't recall seeing that, but
You said
I could be wrong.
lunch is on Pledger.
Well, I did say that.
But there was nothing established like a plan.
Sounded like an established to me.
Sounded like somebody read something in a drunken stupor and doesn't want to get thrown under the bus by his teammates like Micah Parsons tends to do.
Hey, look, I'm happy for Pledge, but that's it. It's just I said you're buying lunch next week, and I never got a response.
No, but apparently that's established.
I guess so.
It's solid communication.
Okay, All right, just checking.
So brisket sandwiches tomorrow on Pledge,
Or Ollie's.
Or Ollie's. What's Ollie's?
It's a pizza place. So you don't want the brisket sandwiches?
Maybe. I don't know what I'm feeling for lunch tomorrow yet.
Well, I know what you're feeling right now. It's a brisket sandwich tomorrow. No, we've established that. Pledge is getting brisket sandwiches for everybody tomorrow.
You're a hell of a guy, Pledge.
Gonna show up for work with them.
Hell of a guy.
Yeah. We're in studio tomorrow, right?
I think so.
Sounds like a plan to me. Sounds like an established plan.
Sounds like an established plan.
All right. Put it down.
Marbled. Well, they ask you.
They do.
You want your brisket lean or marbled? Marbled. It's better.
For sure.
It's better.
Juicier.
Yes. Yes. Lean.
Yeah.
Lean.
What's lean?
Lean.
Forget about it.
Your brisket. Not at all. If you
All
did
right, I'm looking forward to that now.
see, tomorrow lunch is taken care of.
Yeah.
You should put it on your calendar so you don't forget.
So I'm trying to
lunch.
think. I don't think I have anything before coming to work, so that works out great.
It works out perfectly.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I did have one question.
What?
So you made 2 tri-tips
I did.
and there were no leftovers?
There's not.
Huh. It's very, very unlike you.
Well, they weren't for me. No, they were not for me. I cooked them for a friend who's going through some stuff. So I did slice some off for our dinner last night. There was a little bit left over that ended up in some eggs this morning during R&R or during the morning cuddle. Yes.
Did you cuddle with RJ this morning?
Yeah, I don't think we really cuddled. And if we started to cuddle, I think by the end of it, he turned his back on me because I wouldn't describe this morning's show as a cuddling session.
Well, I mean, I caught some of the show, and you guys seem like, y'all were getting close.
Except for he was on the fence on something. I'm like, dude, you can't do that. You're either on the fence or you're not. You can't get pre-mad at Wemby.
What's he mad at Wemby for?
Because at what point is Wemby going to take over and become the vocal leader? And I'm like, well, wait a minute. I mean, he's a rookie. So you're pre-mad at Wemby because at some point you're going to start blaming Wemby for this team only having 11 wins at this point. And so I think at that point, if there was cuddling, he rolled over. Yeah.
He turned his back to you, huh?
He did. I got the cold shoulder, right?
It's funny. That's funny. It's
aggressive cuddling, Pledge? I don't know what that is.
It was aggressive cuddling.
Well, it's I got up at 5:00 this morning. So
now you had to do some other stuff. Couldn't cat nap for a 30 minutes or so?
Because that show ends at 10, and then I had a phone call right after that, and then another phone call after that. Then I had to start marinating some pork chops that are going on the grill tonight. Then I came to work and then at noon and
you'll sleep good tonight.
I probably will.
Yeah, you'll sleep good tonight.
I probably will, and I'll sleep in tomorrow.
Yeah.
My normal 8:30 alarm will get used tomorrow.
Well, see that you got all that to look forward
these
to.
Things that say 5 a.m. because those are disgusting.
Dude, I'm excited. I mean, the show sticks tonight.
You've got a concert.
I got a concert, believe it or not. It's me going to a concert.
Ryan going to a show.
How about that?
I know it, man. You're ready. And again, you leave straight from work, go down to the rodeo. So Are you going to walk around the rodeo grounds or just go straight into the Frost Bank Center?
Probably just go straight in.
So
Got some good tickets.
Yeah, well, I mean, but dinner is going to be in some food truck out there.
They don't have stuff inside?
Well, they do, but you can always get that. I mean, you've got rodeo fair food that you guys can eat.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. So my wife's going to Uber over here and meet me here. We're going to leave straight from work.
Yeah.
Looking forward
But you'll
to
have
it.
plenty of time to walk around the ground some
Yeah.
and go eat and then go into the flea market and do a little shopping.
No, we might do that.
And then go into the show.
I go pet the cows or something.
Pet the cows.
Sure.
If you have been to the rodeo, and I haven't gone at all this year, not even to the grounds. If you've been, what are the new food items that they have out in that in the parking lot, the different food trucks? There's always some interesting stuff that they come up with. So if you have been, let us know so Joe can start getting an idea of what might be his. At Joe Reinagle 210.
Let me know.
Tweet at me at Jason Minix. If you're watching on YouTube, you can comment there. And if we get a common theme, we're just going to require Joe. He's going to have to go get that tonight and at least try it. Do something on social media. You guys say this is out there, whatever it might be. Like the steak and the mashed potatoes and an ice cream cone thing that they had a couple of years ago.
Oh,
that
wow.
Looked awful.
Sounds pretty good
in the picture, but actually it is good.
Yeah.
So if they've got something like that, fried Reese's, something, let me know what they have. Let Joe know what he has.
Uh-huh.
So he'll have to eat it tonight at the fair as opposed to just walking into the Frost Bank Center and getting what he could get at a Spurs game.
Well, sure, but that's always pretty good stuff.
It is. I mean, your tickets tonight don't come with dinner, right?
I don't think so.
Then yeah, you would know if you had those.
All right.
Yeah.
No. How would I know that? Does it say on the ticket?
Your ticket price would have told you that.
Oh, okay. Well,
John at Awesome Tickets, where you got your tickets from, would have told you, hey, this has this club. You've just got good seats.
Yeah. We do. He hooked us up, man. That guy's awesome. He's good.
He is
I
great.
don't want any peanut butter anything, okay? That's not happening.
Pledge had a deep fried peanut butter and jelly sandwich in Rio Doce.
That's disgusting.
Is it disgusting?
No, it was delicious.
How drunk were you when you had that?
Early morning. Wasn't that bad.
That's not the question I asked.
Early morning.
That's not breakfast food, but you drunk in the morning on vacation is not unusual. How drunk or still drunk were you when you had that and you thought that was good?
Sober-ish.
So you were really drunk. Although deep fried peanut butter and jelly doesn't sound bad to me, but Joe Reinagle does not like peanut butter.
Okay, I tell you what, I had on Saturday. Was it Saturday? Sunday. I should play 2 consecutive days of golf, and I'm gonna tell you what. I woke up this morning feeling like I'd been beaten over the whole body. Right. So I'm out of shape, obviously, with that. But a friend of mine made these peanut butter whiskey shots.
Okay.
Screwballs.
Weren't bad.
Yeah.
I don't know, screwballs. He called them peanut butter whiskey shots.
Well, there is a whiskey that's peanut butter flavored now. So is that what you had?
I guess it tasted like a Reese's kind of.
And you liked it?
A little too much, yeah.
Yeah, well, because peanut butter is wonderful.
Well, it's not the peanut butter, the whiskey. But coming down 18, I was like seeing 3 balls. So that was fun, though.
Which is normal for you.
Yeah, sometimes. But sometimes I don't go overboard. It's like I'll sip on a couple of beers for the round and just make it that way. This was kind of more of a party atmosphere for some reason.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
And now Reinagle likes peanut butter whiskey. Who knew?
Well, no, I won't be drinking that.
Again? Liar.
I would say I wouldn't do another shot. It was pretty good, but I'm just saying.
I'll get you a bottle for your birthday.
No.
All right.
I mean, you can get it. It's going to sit in the shelf somewhere.
Yeah, fair enough. I won't get it then.
All right. Thanks.
Get you something that you're actually going to drink. Something that you're going to like. At Joe Reinagle 210, at Jason Minix on Twitter. If you're watching on YouTube, you can comment there as well. Make sure you subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. We will get into the brawl last night involving UIW. Unfortunately, we won't be talking with anybody from UIW about the brawl last night because, well, they're all declining to go on public record. From the athletic director to the basketball coach to the broadcaster, they've all got a muzzle, apparently.
Well, I'll give them a little bit of a break. There is an investigation going on. And they say they can't comment. So, but we can.
And we will.
And we will.
We will. That coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1. San Antonio Sports Star. Is Jimmy Johnson truly back in the fold with the Cowboys? That's next here on 94.1. San Antonio Sports Star. You know, nobody ever plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast, you know the best way to do that is by calling my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747, or you can start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds because nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans, have a free shuttle service. They are discreet and confidential and open 24/7 with offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide. So if you're up in Dallas, down in Corpus, anywhere in between, license number 149, call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or go online, mybestbailbonds.com.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Spring Golf Classic is set. Monday, March 25th at Golf Club of Texas. With plenty of prizes, including a shot at $50,000 in a trip to the big game. Go to sasportstar.com and get signed up. A 4-person scramble, $120 per player to join, or a group of 4 can sign up together for $400. It's the San Antonio Spring Golf Classic, benefiting the Will Smith Foundation. Monday, March 25th, presented by Flight by Yingling and 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. But not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. 800-952-1155. That's 800-952-1155.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
The way the NBA season is going in San Antonio, you need to find a way to add excitement to watching those games. Jason Minix here from the Blitz. The way to do that is by playing at Underdog Fantasy. Go download the Underdog Fantasy app and start playing the Pick'em game, where you pick between 2 and 5 players from at least 2 different teams. Select whether they will be higher or lower on stats, and if your picks hit, you can win up to 100 times your money. It is fantasy, but legal in Texas. So download the Underdog Fantasy app or go to UnderdogFantasy.com. Sign up, use my promo code STAR, and Underdog will match your first deposit up to $100. Plus, they'll give you a mystery special pick to use on your first Pick'em entry. Must be over 18 and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. Again, promo code STAR at UnderdogFantasy.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
The Jim Rome Show.
Hey, Jim Rome here, and back in the military city of San Antonio.
Weekdays at noon on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagle. I'm Jason Minix. It's a Tuesday. I know it might feel like a Monday for some.
Kind of does.
But it's a Tuesday. And interesting, over the long holiday weekend, the Cowboys continue to dominate. Micah Parsons dominated the NBA All-Star weekend with his play in the celebrity game, to the things he said. The Cowboys, of course, steal the thunder from the NBA. Not easy to do when the NBA All-Star Weekend just sucked. All of it was bad, and we'll get into that in a moment. But a story that I think is worth discussion, and I do think some of the headlines you might have saw about this was very misleading, about Jimmy Johnson being on the Cowboys advisory board now. It's not a job that I'm aware of. I don't think he gets a paycheck for it. But it does tell me that Jimmy and Jerry have certainly mended fences. And I think it's more on the part of Jerry that he is having lots of conversations, friendly conversations again with Jimmy Johnson. That is a relationship that went through a very nasty divorce. And it is nice to see that they have gotten over that and are back to being buddies.
I think it's great. They're always buddies. They just, even the best of friends sometimes have a tiff and a falling out, but you get back to it. So it's all good. And I guarantee you, it's not a job per se, but Jerry's asking questions and, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? I know he is. I don't think Jimmy would have said that otherwise.
Well, and I think that's part of it. When you hear the way Jimmy Johnson described this versus just reading a quote, tone certainly matters. And he was on the Joe Rose show on 560 WQAM down in Miami. Listening to it, it does feel very tongue-in-cheek, but there is a lot to unwrap here.
So I got to ask, I haven't talked to you since the whole thing in the Ring of Honor and Jerry Jones and that relationship, which has kind of been back and forth. It was good to see. And Jimmy, I think it's probably the first time I can ever remember a guy going in the Hall of Fame way before going to the Ring of Honor. But that's okay. But I thought you were a real pro with the whole thing, Jimmy.
Well, since the Ring of Honor, Jerry and I, man, I'm on his advisory board now. We're talking on the phone. I talked to him about an hour after his Green Bay loss, and he's talking about what all he needed to do because he's had big decisions on Mike McCarthy and Dan Quinn and Dak Prescott. But everything's hunky dory now. So I'm back in the fold with the Cowboys.
And that's good. And I think the whole Ring of Honor, once that happened, and Jimmy's not sour anymore, and Jerry's gotten over it, and so they're buddies again. But why wouldn't Jerry Jones, if you're friends with Jimmy Johnson, run some things by him and say, what do you think about this?
I agree. And whether there's a quote unquote advisory board, right? It's not on the board of directors, right?
No.
But at the same time, and Jerry has talked often about people that he seeks counsel from.
Yeah.
People that he calls for advice that are outside of the organization. People that aren't always yes men. Somebody that will tell him the truth. And I believe that Jerry's circle of people that he trusts that way is fairly small. That said, I'm surprised Jimmy brought it up and named Mike McCarthy, Dan Quinn, and Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't know what about an hour is in Jimmy Johnson's mind, because we know that Jerry can be pretty long-winded, so is that 45 minutes? Is that an hour and a half? Was it right at an hour? Because also having done stuff, I mean, Jerry's calendar is what it is. And, if he's at 2:00, I'm calling Jimmy, and at 3:00, I got to call, Joe, he'll get off the phone. Right. So I don't know what about an hour is, but that's a long time. And if he was asking Jimmy about his thoughts on Mike McCarthy and Dan Quinn and Dak Prescott, I think that is worthy of discussion at the very least, at least from a Cowboy fan perspective, in which I am one, that Jerry is asking questions about those three.
Well, apparently Mike McCarthy got the okay check mark from Jimmy Johnson. He's back. Dan Quinn's gone.
But Dan Quinn quit.
He did. And Dak Prescott is still out there.
Well, and quite honestly, I mean, what you just said, who knows? I don't know that I would go as far as, he got the blessing from Jimmy. Yeah, you better keep your coach. But at the very least, I know that Jerry is asking questions about these people, two coaches and the quarterback, with somebody that he trusts, right? At least it's not just my mind is made up, this is what I'm doing, and I'm not just asking Steven, and I'm not just asking, he's asking people that don't have the emotional ties and relationship with that person. I appreciate that. I appreciate knowing that Jerry is, well, what do you think?
What do you think?
He's still making his decision. Sure. But at least it's not just he's got his mind made up, or internally the people in that room, he's asking others. And I imagine if something negative was said about any of them, Jerry would think long and hard about that person's opinion, especially if it differs from Jerry's.
Well, I think he did Mike McCarthy an injustice, quite frankly. Whether that's Jimmy Johnson or not, I don't know. Having this guy come back for the final year, be a lame duck head coach, I think you either fire him or you give him an extension. And I guess that could still happen at any time. But to me, it's just a bad situation to put Mike McCarthy in. Obviously, McCarthy's, he's getting paid well. He's going to do his job. But I think you either fire him or you give him an extension. I just don't think you did him any favors. So whether that's Jerry, Jimmy, or a combination of everybody, I think they did Mike McCarthy an injustice. What are they going to do with Dak Prescott? I think we all can agree that the best thing business-wise is to extend this guy or do something to get that cap hit as bad as it is and move it off so you can get some players and hopefully go all in as Jerry has said.
Well, we've got to figure out what Jerry's definition of going all in really is.
And then there's that.
But at the same time, I do think there is the belief that Dak Prescott is the guy. Whether you agree with that or not doesn't matter. Does Jerry and Steven and Will McClay and Mike McCarthy think so?
I don't think they have any choice at this point. They have no plan B. Dak is the plan, period. That's all there is. I don't think you have any choice at this point in time.
Well, and again, I mean, all right, do you trade for Justin Fields, who has unfollowed the Chicago Bears on social? No. Is Justin Fields better than Dak Prescott? No. And it's crazy because there's probably at least 20 teams, maybe a couple more, that Dak Prescott would be a significant upgrade from their quarterback situation. The question is, can Dak Prescott, who's been great in the regular season and sucks in the playoffs, how does he become a better playoff quarterback? And I think for, Jerry, the message that I took, he's going all in. He's going to get the right players for Dak Prescott.
Well, and that's going to take some gymnastics on his part,
sure,
quite frankly, because of the salary cap. There was a story that Pledge had in Sports Center today that it will go up significantly, the salary cap this year. That's going to help a little bit. But look, I don't think you have any choice at this point in time. But some guys will thrive in different systems better than they do in some others. I mean, we've seen that. Look at Jared Goff, for example, although he did very well with the Rams for a minute. He comes to Detroit and he's a different guy. Matthew Stafford with the Rams. They win a Super Bowl. Sometimes a change of scenery is good for players, and it might be that that's the case for Dak Prescott.
The problem is it might be good for Dak Prescott, but would it be good for the Cowboys to move on from Dak Prescott? And again, with no plan B in place.
That's it.
I mean, Baker Mayfield, if he doesn't get back with the with the Bucks on a better deal, I mean, that's it. I mean, for the available quarterbacks, are any of them better than Dak, or is it just somebody else to be mad at? And Dak has all the leverage.
Yep.
And quite frankly, offensively, and we know that, they were a bleep show in the first half against Green Bay because all those pretty numbers came in garbage time for Dak Prescott against the Packers. They also got to figure out what they're going to do differently on defense. And, if you ask Micah Parsons, he'll tell you he's told Jerry everything that they need to do.
So it's Jimmy Johnson and Micah Parsons, the advisory committee.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about that coming up on the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. If you need a new dentist, if it's been a while since you've been to the dentist, if you broke a tooth and you need to see a dentist in an emergency situation, remember my dentist, Dr. Smith, over at Smile Structure Dentistry and Braces. Smile Structure Dentistry and Braces is a general and family dental practice, from cleaning and whitening to crowns, fillings, dental implants, wisdom teeth extraction. They can handle it all. I'm started the Invisalign process over at Smile Structure Dentistry and Braces. If you're thinking about Invisalign for you as an adult, it's actually not that bad. I've got my trays in right now as we're going. Braces for the kiddos. Go see them over there at Smile Structure. If you've been to a dentist and they said, man, you need to do this and you need that and you need a second opinion, go to Smile Structure. They'll give you that second opinion. And right now you can get a free exam and x-rays when you mention 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Medicaid and all PPO insurance accepted, and they offer a dental savings plan if you don't have dental insurance. Smile Structure Dentistry and Braces is veteran-owned and operated, and they offer discounts to uninsured veterans. 5 San Antonio area locations. Learn more and book an appointment online. Go to their website, smilestructure.com. That's smilestructure.com.
It's the Morning Huddle with Rob and RJ.
Wednesday on the Morning Huddle, the San Antonio Spurs are back in action tomorrow. What would constitute a success across the regular season? We're going to tell you. Also, Micah Parsons continues to talk, and what do we have to say about all of his opinions on, well, quite frankly, everything? We're going to get into all of it and everything under the sun. We start at 6 a.m. Make sure to bring the coffee on the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
If you're a man and you live in San Antonio or the surrounding areas, you need to pay close attention to what I'm about to say. Are you having issues rising to the occasion? Do you constantly worry about whether or not you can perform? Have you completely stopped having adult time? Is it something you just don't talk about? Guys, we have a solution. Mojo, the 100% guaranteed male enhancement pill that's fast, effective, and was designed to reignite passion, performance, and confidence in the bedroom. Yeah. Be ready at a moment's notice with the Mojo Male Enhancement Pill from Pure Line Nutrition. And for those of you who have used Mojo, check out Mojo Enduramax. Touchdown! A new formula that improves the potency and effectiveness of Mojo. Get fast results, last longer, and be the man she'll never forget. Mojo and Mojo Enduramax. 100% natural male enhancement formulas only available at Pure Line Nutrition. Call now, 210-494-2210. That's 210-494-2210. Or visit us online at thepureline.com.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop, opt out. Go to nomoredraftywindows.com for full offer details.
Attention all homeowners. Do you know when to replace your windows? Feeling too hot or cold? It's time to replace. Fog between the glass. Time to replace. Spending too much on expensive energy that literally goes out the window? It's definitely time to replace. If you've put off replacing windows in your home because it's too expensive, here's great news. You can now get a free in-home window consultation and free price quote from Renewal by Andersen, the company with the most 5-star reviews among leading full-service window replacement companies. And right now you can save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. Just text Energy to 200-300 for your free consultation on top quality affordable windows or patio doors for no dollars down, no payments, and no interest for a year. That's right. You don't pay a dime for an entire year. Plus save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. But hurry, these big dollar savings end this month. Text Energy to 200-300 right now. Text the word Energy to 200-300. Don't wait. Text Energy to 200-300.
Have you Googled yourself lately? Are there negative posts from an ex-employee or from a former client? Maybe an outdated news article or sensitive personal information about your family? Search engines don't always get it right. For right or wrong, it's your reputation on the line. That's where Reputation Defender by Norton comes in. One of the most trusted names in online reputation repair, Reputation Defender has been fixing people's search results for over 15 years. Their cutting-edge approaches help you to wipe away unwanted information in your search results. They also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, helping you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. Take control with Reputation Defender. You can start by getting your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com or call 800-803-5505 to speak to an expert. That's 800-803-5505.
When your business needs an electrician, for over 35 years, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio. Powered by relationships with dedicated estimators who analyze the issue, research cost-effective solutions, and clearly communicate the options without charging you a dime. A proven process that allows you to continue focusing on your unique purpose. Call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074. That's 404-9074. Or hill-electric.com.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Hi, it's Jason Minix. You're listening to the home of the Cowboys, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Wow, who was that guy?
I don't know. Heard him this morning.
Home of the Cowboys, huh?
Home of the Cowboys.
How about them Cowboys?
How about them Cowboys? How about them Cowboys? Do you know what Shogun is?
Is that a play?
It's a movie.
It's a movie?
It's going to be at the Santikos Casablanca on February 22nd, 7 o'clock. You get free popcorn and drinks and a pair of tickets to the advanced screening of Shogun.
Shogun.
Shogun is Shogun.
I've heard of Shogun, though. Is this like a remake? It's got to be.
There's a Google box right in front of you.
I'm just saying it's got to be a remake. I just thought, one of you guys, you were pledged, you classy theater types. Maybe you knew.
Yeah, I don't know. But if you know and you want to go, if you just want the free popcorn and drinks and go to movies for free, whatever it is, you get tickets right now. If you are caller number 7, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Pledge is showing us the trailer right now, which is great for the radio audience. But as I'm looking at the trailer, yeah, this looks like a good movie. Caller 7, the tickets are yours. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776.
Some guy just got a sword right through his head.
Well, thanks for giving it away, man.
I'm just saying, that's the kind I'm looking forward to that.
A sword through his head.
But you couldn't see it. It was like how in Japan they have, you remember Karate Kid?
Of course.
Right. Well,
which wasn't actually in Japan.
Well,
it was in LA.
Mr. Miyagi, though, it was a Japanese style house, right?
Yeah.
So, and you open the door and you kind of got the window film. So you just see the sword going through in kind of a silhouette form. But then the blood splatters on the window.
Yeah.
That's going to be good. Wow. Yeah, I think that's going to be good. I want to go see that.
See? There you go.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what we do. Caller 7, those tickets are yours.
Huh. All right.
Micah Parsons dominated NBA All-Star Weekend. Congratulations. He won the Celebrity Game MVP.
That's awesome.
He was balling big time.
Yeah, he
and,
was.
and he was playing well, and I think he really wanted to go there and win a trophy, right?
Might be his only opportunity.
Stop.
Wow.
Oh, there's some truth there.
Yes.
And then he sat down and did an interview with Stephen A. Smith for Stephen A.'s podcast. And they covered a lot of different things, including Micah Parsons' upcoming massive extension.
We know that Dak Prescott has to get some money, but my concern is that I hope they don't get in the way of you getting your money.
No.
Now, I mean, have you thought about that at all?
Nah.
What about that?
For me, everyone's always worried about what's meant for you is meant for you. If I'm meant to get it, I'm going to get it. I think Steven and Jerry, and they want to take care of their guys, but they want to take care of the right guys, and they got to do things strategically. How to cap hit. I don't know how truly works. Only they do. So, if they call my number and say, "Hey, we ready," we ready. But if not, I'm gonna put another Pro Bowl year. It only gets more expensive, right?
It only gets more expensive, assuming you don't get hurt. Football's a very violent sport. It's a very physical game.
I mean, if that's guys playing like I can't play like like that. I'm gonna play how I play, and if something happens.
But they can after March, they could sign you. They could choose to franchise tag you into 2025. I mean, would you take that? Would you still go out on the field? Some players would sit out. What would you do?
I think it would be too expensive to do that. My 5th-year option is already a top 3 franchise tag. So if they did that again, I would be making, and it just goes against the cap more. I don't think that, they would do that.
And you've been on the record stating, quote, you want to be a Cowboy for life.
Yeah.
Man, where are you from? Ain't you from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania?
Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Ain't that there close to the Philadelphia Eagles?
Yeah.
I mean,
it's like,
I'm sure Eagles will. Why do you don't want to be a Cowboy for life?
Because I called on the star. I called him. I said, Dallas, come get me.
You called Dallas.
I called the Dallas. When I was in pre-draft, I was watching the Cowboys. I said, bro, I want to be, and I played in the Cotton Bowl in Dallas. And I was like, I want to be back in Dallas. Yeah.
But you from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. That's 2 hours from Philadelphia. And you called the Cowboys to say you wanted to be with them?
Yeah.
Why? Why would you do that to yourself?
That's what God told me. I'm going to win a championship in Dallas.
There you go.
I'm telling you right now.
There you go. He's going to win a championship in Dallas.
Is that playing football or something else?
Football.
Is he a golfer?
Don't be it. No, he can play basketball though.
Well, apparently he's a little vertically challenged to play basketball, isn't he?
Aren't we all?
Well, some of you are.
I am.
Yes.
Give me a 7-foot rim. I'd dominate.
Tommy, yes, of course.
Nerf ball on the back to the bedroom door like when we were kids. Look, I know Micah Parsons means well. He does.
Does he?
I truly think he's a good kid that is in the limelight. He has a spotlight. He does his podcast. He's honest in his podcast to a fault because he throws his teammates under the bus.
Yeah.
And
coaches too, don't forget
and coaches. He throws everybody under the bus but him. And that's a problem. Not talking about the Cowboys, but at this Brahma's kickoff event that I was hosting Sunday with Daryl Johnston and Wade Phillips, Moose had said something about it's not the coach's fault always, right? He doesn't miss tackles. He doesn't, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
And then he turned to Wade and said, and Wade, if something goes wrong, whose fault is it? He said, well, it's the coaches. It's not the players. And Daryl then says, so many people want to point the finger, but you have to take the thumb and point it back at you. You have to be responsible for yourself. And I know it's kind of corny, cliche-ish, but it's true. And that is something that Micah Parsons has not yet learned, right? When you think about him talking about what went wrong in the Green Bay game. And he talked about, well, if DeMarcus Lawrence doesn't jump off sides, if this doesn't happen. No, everybody had a bad game, but Micah Parsons.
He played his best.
Yeah, he was,
did everything
and
he
again,
could.
he's never taken that thumb and pointed at himself. What can you do better? Now, D. Law on Radio Row said some things that I disagree with. Maybe you probably shouldn't say these, but D. Law basically said on Radio Row out in Las Vegas, yeah, the Cowboys were just too tired when it came to that Green Bay game because it was just such a long season. They were just too tired. And Stephen A. asked Micah about DeMarcus Lawrence's comments.
Don't get me wrong. Yes, I agree that teams play us like the Super Bowl. We are the Dallas Cowboys. But in the end, that's not a good enough reason or excuse to say that publicly. If you say that to someone else, you know what I'm saying, one-on-one, you know what I'm saying, cameras off, sure, be my guest. But when I feel like once that regular season ends and they get in the playoff, you're supposed to get rejuvenated. Like, this is a whole new me, whole new you. Like, we need to get ready. And that's part of that culture stuff where I was talking about, where I want to dive into the players that we got to change. Like, it should never, you should never go into a game like I'm tired, like I'm ready to go home. Because that's what's exactly going to happen, and it did happen. I'm coming to the game every week like, man, that's just something like I don't agree with at all. Like, regular season, all right, yeah, I'm tired, like I'm wore out. But as soon as playoffs hit, knowing how limited and how hard it is to win in playoff game, I would never say I'm tired or I feel fatigued, because that's my job to not feel that way.
The first part of that soundbite was probably the best. You don't go on camera. You don't say things publicly that, you might say it to a teammate, but you don't go out and say things publicly. Am I getting that right, Plutch? Can you just play the first part of that clip one more time?
Don't get me wrong. Yes, I agree that teams play us like the Super Bowl. We are the Dallas Cowboys. But in the end, that's not a good enough reason or excuse to say that publicly. If you say that to someone else.
Okay, wait a minute. Now, is this Micah Parsons? Was he looking in a mirror? Was he looking in the mirror saying, you don't say this in public?
Well, was he throwing DeMarcus Lawrence under the bus there?
Yes, he was.
I don't mind that.
He should throw himself under the bus then.
No, I don't. I honestly, when he called out D-Law for jumping off sides, that penalty, man, it could have changed the entire game. That's throwing your teammate under the bus. Here, DeMarcus Lawrence said something that I thought was, you don't say that, right? You can't tell me you're tired. For him to call out his teammate like that, dude, that's BS. To me, I don't mind that. I don't mind, even though DeMarcus Lawrence is a veteran player, Micah's a young leader on this team by play and by the whatever they've given him with the Cowboys. He is a leader in that locker room. Players listen to him. I don't mind him calling out his player like, dude, you can't tell me you're tired. Don't tell me you're tired. You can't tell me you're tired when the playoffs began. That's BS. That's an excuse. That's an excuse. And I appreciate him being honest. Like, I couldn't believe DeMarcus Lawrence said that. I mean, if he would have said that to me in the locker room, I'd been more curious if he would have said that to you in the locker room, what would you say to his face? But for DeMarcus Lawrence to go on a radio show and say that, I don't mind. I don't mind Micah calling him out for that.
You can be tired. You can't say it. And why you're tired, I don't know. I mean, everybody plays the same amount of games.
Yep.
The entire season. So everybody's tired. I would be okay with Micah saying that if he wasn't such a donkey on his own podcast, calling his teammates and his coaches and everybody else out publicly. He doesn't go to them and say this stuff to them in the locker room or in somewhere in private. He says it publicly. So for him to criticize another player for saying something publicly and lecture that player about saying stupid stuff publicly carries no weight with me at all.
Something about pot and kettle.
Yes,
right? I
exactly.
mean, and I'm with you there. Although the fact that Micah does say it publicly on his podcast, it gets back to those players and those coaches. They hear it. They get asked questions about it. So, but in this case, I'm not mad at Micah for that. That's not throwing your teammate under the bus. Don't tell me you're tired though in the postseason that it's grueling. Driving in today, I heard Dave Roberts on with Jim Rome, the manager of the Los Angeles Dodgers, and he said, we haven't won anything since 2020, and I thought it was interesting. He said everybody we play, it's their World Series, and that's taxing. That's what Dave Roberts said today on Jim Rome, and he said not every year the best roster wins the World Series. And they haven't done that in a couple of years. Now they're stacked this year. They're going to be favored to win it all again this year. But he even said, it's something about bringing your A game every day because we're that team. And I thought, that's a better way of saying that than what Micah Parsons said, than what DeMarcus Lawrence said. But I do think there are teams out there that everybody gets up to play. The Cowboys are one of them. You've got to be mentally strong, though, to handle that. I hear that, and I think you're a mentally weak Dallas Cowboy team if you can't handle getting everybody's best shot week in and week out.
I'm glad to see you went there because I was just going to bring up some dude named Tom Brady and the New England Patriots who got everybody's best shot every week, and they still managed to collect a lot of rings in the process. And so I'm glad that you said that. And I appreciate you saying that because you're right. They are a mentally weak ball club. They're mentally weak. They beat up on a lot of bad teams this year and got trounced by some good ones. And then more so the culture's got to change, and that's got to be something, and maybe Mike Zimmer can do that for the defense. But, I mean, look, you've got to be strong. You have to be. You got to put all that stuff or go play for another team. Well, if you can't handle being a Dallas Cowboy, then go play for the New Orleans Saints.
Well, the question is, how many people in that locker room feel like DeMarcus Lawrence? That it's just too much. Like I'm a big fan of D-Law. But when I heard that, I'm thinking, dude, you got to go.
Yeah.
I can't have a teammate like that in the locker room. The old, who do you want to be in your foxhole with you kind of thing. Not that guy.
No.
Right? As great as he is as a player, if you are telling me when the light is the brightest and the stage is the biggest, you're tired, you got to go.
Yes.
Right? I mean, and you said it. You're the one that said it, DeMarcus Lawrence, that, man, we're tired. Yeah, everybody gives it. It's a beat down, man. It's a long. Shut up.
Exactly.
Right?
Go play for somebody else.
You're mentally weak. You can't handle it.
Go play for somebody else if that's how you feel.
Hard to win a championship that way, and not like it's his option, but I think if you're Will McClay, if you're Mike Zimmer, you hear that. The difference between Mike Zimmer and Dan Quinn and everything that we've heard, Mike Zimmer isn't going to put up with that. Now, they do need some personnel changes on the defensive side, and Mike Zimmer will get some guys in that fit his system a little bit better. But Micah also tells Stephen A. Smith about visiting with Jerry about his thoughts on what the Cowboys need. And again, get that train ready for some teammates. Mozzie Smith, you're on the tracks.
Yeah, so that's what I liked about Jay, and which I was dope. I think Jay's one of the best GM owners that I've been around, and not even just I've been around because I've only been on one team, but from what I've heard from other NBA and NFL players, and it's just like this: the Super Bowl. Jerry sees me walking out the win. Jerry was at the win. He says, "Hey, you going to the Super Bowl?" I said, "Yeah, I'm going." He said, Come see us. And I was like, "Hey, you got any extra tickets? I got some homeboys that want to come." Jerry sends me 4 extra tickets to the Super Bowl suite. And we just sit and talk from before the game until the whole half about players I want to bring in, players I want to be around, who do I need, who do I want to be with, future of our team. And that's just dope to have that type of feedback with an owner that, loves to hear your ideas and what you think and where the team can be. And, Jerry's been, pretty amazing about that with my family and stuff like that. So I've had them conversations with him, and we spoke for 2-3 hours just in the Super Bowl alone.
2 or 3 hours. I guess they didn't watch much of the first half.
Well,
Look, I don't blame Jerry for Micah Parsons, future of your team. All right, so what does he feel like the team needs? I'm okay with that. I'm okay with him asking that and them having that discussion. If you're going to be a leader, be a leader. All right, in every way, shape, and form. And if I was Jerry, I would probably talk to young Micah about maybe just skip the podcast this year. Why don't you take a year off? It's hard to do because he's getting paid. What is it, Bleacher Report that pays for that?
Yeah, but when he gets that big money from the Cowboys, maybe.
I
don't know. I appreciate Jerry, and I think it is a leadership quality that Jerry has. Make the players feel like they're being listened to. I think all of us, you work somewhere and boss asks you a question, you want to be honest with them. As long as Jerry is just letting Micah talk and not letting Micah dictate who they are going to go get, I think that's the biggest difference. Micah's not the GM, but Micah, what do you think? I think it's a fair question that allows Micah to have more buy-in on what he's doing. I find it also interesting that you and I know a lot of people that played for the Dallas Cowboys. Big name people. I don't know, Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin, Moose Johnston. And most of them say Mr. Jones.
Yes, they do.
Micah calls him Jay.
Jay. I think part of that, it's just the age, right? I mean, that's kind of where they're at, but
it's still Mr. Jones.
He's got. I call him Mr. Jones for goodness sake.
Well, you and I, and we're like when
I'm
we're drinking with him in Malibu. Boy, that sounded good, didn't it? Rich, right?
Yeah.
When we're drinking with him at Nobu in Malibu, it's always
that he's paying for, by the way.
Absolutely, it's Mr. Jones. And then if he says Jerry, call me Jerry.
Yeah,
all right, it's Jerry.
Yeah.
Steven calls him Jerry. But even Troy Aikman, will say either Jerry Jones or a lot of times, Mr. Jones. There is that respect that, I don't know, billionaire NFL owner status gets you. You're Mr. Jones. Jay. Yeah, I needed 4 tickets for my buddies in the suite.
He got them
sent
for him,
to
didn't
me.
he? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
How about that?
Mm-hmm. Jerry also.
I wonder if Jerry keeps track of that, like negotiations. Remember those 4 tickets to the Super Bowl? Those were about $10,000 a piece.
I don't know how it is now, but Dat Wynn told the stories that Jerry used to deduct lunch costs out of their weekly paychecks. Ross Tucker will tell you that you take your helmet when you're no longer a Dallas Cowboy. Jerry charges you for that out of your last paycheck. I don't know if that will be there, but it's also a little goodwill when it comes to negotiating, I would imagine.
Absolutely.
Because Micah could hold out this year if he wanted to. I don't know that he can afford to, but he could, like Zeke did, put Jerry over a barrel. And I think that's a lot of goodwill for Micah Parsons when it comes to contract negotiations.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I don't trust Micah as far as I could throw him. He says all the right things.
Does he?
But when push comes to shove, I think Micah would hold out in a heartbeat.
$50,000 a day, man. That adds up quick. Ask Zach Martin. It is the Blitz here on 94.1, San Antonio Sports Star. What a night for UIW basketball. Whoa. They make the national headlines for all the wrong reasons. We're talking about it next on the Blitz on 94.1, San Antonio Sports Star. Guys, if you have a lack of energy, motivation, maybe low libido, these symptoms could be caused by low T levels. At Synergenics, their medical providers exclusively specialize in customized testosterone treatment, and they make it quick and easy for you to get your levels checked. And at Synergenics, you'll get your results back at your first visit because they have a lab there on site. So book your appointment now. FixMyLowT.com is the website to go book your appointment. Did you know testosterone levels start to decline in your 30s? So if you've got that lack of energy and drive, get your levels tested at Synergenics, where you will get customized care from testosterone specialists. The important thing is to get tested. Know what those level numbers are. Take that first step and book your appointment now. Go to the website, FixMyLowT.com. That is FixMyLowT.com.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Spring Golf Classic is set. Monday, March 25th at Golf Club of Texas. With plenty of prizes, including a shot at $50,000 in a trip to the big game. Go to sasportstar.com and get signed up. A 4-person scramble, $120 per player to join, or a group of 4 can sign up together for $400. It's the San Antonio Spring Golf Classic, benefiting the Will Smith Foundation. Monday, March 25th, presented by Flight by Yingling and 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Pork rinds pack a protein punch and are the boldest low-carb snacks out there. Skip the chip and try Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds for that ultimate crunch. And with flavors that will have you craving for more, the time to stock up on Southern Recipe at H-E-B is now. Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds. Be big, be bold, be adventurous.
Let our team keep your home running comfortable and worry-free. Call on Mr. Electric for all your electrical needs. 210-248-2026. Or get a hold of us online at mrelectric.com and enter your zip code.
License number TECL 34221.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Well, Joel, it's my favorite time of the year. It's rodeo time, and I've got the best quarter moon marketing idea ever. It's all about branding. So I've got this. It's called a branding iron.
Folks, you don't need a branding iron to remember Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC. Quarter Moon has the expertise, local talent, and fast, reliable service.
So how does the branding iron work?
Well, are those new pants?
Yes. Why?
Turn around.
Turn around my...
Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC. 210-651-5899.
Number M16004. DACLA 0007434.
At GiveMeTheVIN.com, we pride ourselves in being America's best car buyer, bringing top dollar for your car with an online process that's fast and easy. But you might not know that we've got a special interest in buying your truck. Luxury haulers, workhorse diesels, or just your favorite pickup truck, we specialize in putting the right money on your truck for longer than anybody. Go to GiveMeTheVIN.com today and get your check on the spot from America's best car and truck buyer.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVIN.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Progressive covers pets in our auto policy at no extra charge. Now let's hear what your dog has to say.
As a dog, I think Progressive's auto pet policies. Oh, what is that? That's just my tail. Weird. Anyway, Progressive protects. There it is again. See? This is why I need protection. I'm so distracted. Nope, that is still my tail.
Progressive Auto Insurance covers pets for up to $1,000 in a car accident at no extra charge. And we think your dog would say that's great too. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Coverage for cats and dogs included with the purchase of collision coverage and subject to policy terms. Not available in all states.
Tax Talk with Straight Talk.
You give and you give. This tax season, you get with Straight Talk Wireless. You get a reliable 5G network and unlimited data and a Samsung Galaxy A14 included when you buy an extended silver unlimited plan. So you can give your janky phone to your kid. Yeah!
Switch to Straight Talk for plans starting as low as $25 a line per month for 4 lines. Find us at straighttalk.com. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com. Device offer ends 4/14/24. Online only. Family plan discount with 4 lines, all on the silver unlimited plan. Taxes and fees apply.
This is Jim Rome. Have a take, don't suck on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. KTFM Floresville.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
College Football Playoff Committee adopted a 5+7 system. It incorporates 5 automatic qualifying spots for the highest-ranked conference champions, 7 at-large spots. That goes into effect this year. The Incarnate Word basketball team making national headlines today following a brawl that occurred in the post-game handshake line. We're talking about that on the Blitz coming up next.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Glad to have you along on a Tuesday that might feel like a Monday, or some of you might already feel like Thursday.
It might. For you?
I'm doing all right.
You all right?
Doing all right.
Good.
Got up early this morning to fill in for Rob on the morning huddle.
You're almost done. You cuddling with RJ this morning? That had to be a lot of fun.
He's got cold feet, though.
Oh, he does?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. I see RJ as a dude that sleeps with a big old teddy bear. Yeah, I can see that. You know, just kind of there, and he's all snuggled up with that teddy bear.
You think?
Yeah. It looks like a teddy bear guy.
Would it be a teddy bear or some sort of stuffed animal? And what animal would it be?
Well, I mean, I
just spent the night with RJ.
Oh, yeah? Really?
I think I've nailed it. It's that bear that is in the Cowboys uniform that has a DAC 4 and says Prescott on the back.
I know what you're talking about. I've seen that. Yeah, that could be. Yeah, he's kind of a DAC guy, too. Y'all have a lot in common when it comes to that.
You're right. And some guy said that this morning when I was on their show, I forget what the comment was, something about blah, 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 Jason, great, this, that, but he's got the worst DAC takes. Yep, my DAC take is awful. He is a great regular season quarterback that can't get it done in the postseason. I need to work on it. Tell me how the DAC take can be better than that.
No, it's a pretty good DAC take. I just think, for Dak's sake, he can't handle that pressure of being a Dallas Cowboy. The pressure that comes from being tired against Green Bay.
I don't think Dak was tired.
He was something in the first half, and he wasn't.
He woke up in the second half. I mean,
Well, when you're down 27-0, the pressure's off, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true. Let's do the headline blitz.
This is Jason and Joe's Headline Blitz. 2 guys, 2 opinions, never enough time.
What a weekend for UTSA and UIW, both making national headlines. UTSA baseball, number 4 on SportsCenter's top 10, as Matt King makes an incredible catch going over the wall. SportsCenter top 10. Cool seeing UTSA baseball on SportsCenter top 10. Not cool seeing UIW make every national show out there.
Everyone.
I first saw this on Barstool and thought, holy crap, they've made Barstool. And then, of course, it's everywhere after that, but giving proper credit. For a legit basket brawl that we had last night after the UIW game, massive fight, and I mean a massive fight at the end of the game with Texas A&M Commerce.
And it took a while, 90 seconds or so. I mean, it was all over the place, and some people were bloodied up a little bit. Somebody said something mouthed off. I don't know, because nobody seems to have any information about what took place during the game. Was there some, things said, some hot-headedness during the game that led to this? So once they got in close quarters, that, they just decided to go after each other.
From what I understand, because I wasn't at this game, and looking at the video, not many people saw this in person.
No, they didn't.
Which is why you haven't seen a whole lot of fan footage from this game, because, well, nobody was there. Or very few people were there. And what's crazy is watching this fight, those that were actually just watching, their natural reaction of pulling out their phone, it isn't happening. But listening to the broadcast last night, at least one fan was hit while all this was going on, though malice in the palace type. But a back and forth game, it was chippy, a lot of trash talking going on throughout, and one very over-aggressive individual that was there. Now, we will try to, we've reached out to Richard Duran, the athletic director. He has declined to come on because the investigation is ongoing.
The Southland Conference investigation.
The basketball coach, through the sports information director, will not be made available for interviews.
That's a direct quote, I believe.
Hang on, I'll give you the direct quote from the SID when it comes to the coach. Coach will not be available to speak on your show. Cool. All right, thanks. Richard Duran, the athletic director, and his declining to come on. Thank you for the opportunity. But as a matter is still being reviewed by the conference of both universities, it would be inappropriate for us to speak on the matter at this point.
Now, both schools sent out a statement apologizing, saying this is uncalled for and all of that kind of stuff. But my question is, look, and I know tempers flare and you're in the heat of the battle. It was an overtime game, but for that thing to go on as long as it did, it seems odd to me. I mean, that thing went on and on and on and on and all over the court.
Well,
everywhere.
I mean, all right, this guy, all right, we've got you pushed over here. Now you're running across the court over there. You got security that's showing up. And part of it, I think a lot of times you don't expect something like that to happen. And most fights in sports aren't really fights. You get a little jawing, you get separated, because a lot of people are brave when you got somebody else holding you back, right?
Of course, yeah.
And in this case, there are lots of punches being thrown. I'm curious how the Southland Conference, and we did reach out to the Southland Conference. Their commissioner has not yet responded to our interview request. We've reached out to their broadcasters. They're not allowed to talk.
Yeah.
Which is all BS. But I look at this and you wonder, though, how does the league, the Southland Conference, handle this?
You got to come down hard on these guys, on both schools. You have to. This cannot happen. It's uncalled for. It's ridiculous. I get tempers flaring, but for what happened, a complete melee, people in the stands getting hurt, managers, you got to come down with a hammer on both schools for this to make sure that this does not happen again.
My question is, depending on the number of suspensions and for how long, and seeing something like that, I would expect lengthy. Now, it's the end of February, so I'm not sure how many games they have left, but it wouldn't surprise me, quite honestly, if both the UIW season and the A&M Commerce season is effectively over because they won't have enough players because they're all going to get suspended, right? I mean, you look at it. Right?
They should.
Does it end their season? It's not a conference that has enough money where there's massive fines. So I don't know what you do if you're the commissioner, which is why I would love to talk to him. How do you adjudicate something like this? Does the actions of a few players end up costing everybody associated with both of these programs?
Yes. You're a team. You are a team. So if you've got a couple of people that are causing some problems, the entire team has got to suffer. And that's just the way that it has to be. I mean, you've got to put a stop to stuff like this, in my mind. And you can't. I mean, that was such a bad look, not only for UIW and Texas A&M Commerce. This is going out all across the country, where they're talking about UIW and this brawl. The Southland Conference has got to come down hard on these guys. They have to. And I mean, both schools. I mean, everybody has got to be affected in some way, shape, or form.
Absolutely. And the fact that those at UIW that are in charge, knowing that everybody is talking about them and not trying to at least give us an update, to come on and talk about what happened. Not many people were at that game. I mean, you could see that on the video. The curiosity level now with UIW, and yes, it's a very negative reason why UIW is in the national spotlight, but you're there, you can't run from it. That makes it look worse. I saw Chuck McAtenick last night tweet out that UIW is working on a statement. I'm like, they don't have it prepared. We don't condone this kind of behavior.
It's got to be pretty simple, right?
Well, yeah, and it's exactly what it ended up being.
neither one of these schools are going anywhere. They're not having great seasons. So, there's that. But, it just makes it all the more. And again, I understand tempers flaring during competition. It happens. But for the fact that this thing went on and on and on like it did, and so many people involved the way it was, to me, is, where are your leaders on the basketball team that put a stop to this kind of stuff? Where's the coaching staffs on both sides? At some point in time, and you know what? I wouldn't wait for the Southland Conference. If I'm the head coach of the Cardinals, you're done. You're out. You're going to act like a fool. See ya. I don't need to wait for the Southland Conference.
And you wonder if that's on the basketball coach, the athletic director. You're waiting for the conference.
All of the above.
What about self-discipline? Where is the self-discipline from UIW to hide behind the conferences investigating, and we're not coming on, and we're telling everybody involved that they are not allowed to talk, including their broadcasters. That's pretty small-minded.
Well, it is. And again, a simple statement is that we're going to handle this. Whatever the Southland Conference does is, we'll wait for them. But in the meantime, guess what? Him, this guy, and that guy are suspended indefinitely. Period. Done.
And that would be easy to figure out.
Absolutely.
That would be easy to figure out. Maybe easier to figure out than how do they fix the All-Star game. We have an idea.
Gosh.
Well, Joe has an idea. Won't happen, but it's an idea. We'll talk about it next here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. If you listen to me, you listen to this show enough, the Roo Pub is my go-to spot there at 281 in Redland Road with those 3 massive 170-inch screens, TVs all around. Over the past decade, the Roo Pub has proven to be the place to go watch any big game, any big event. And I talk about big events. We're literally less than a month away from St. Patrick's Day. And you know damn well they do it right for St. Patrick's Day at the Roo Pub. So put that one on your calendar now. After the rodeo's over, you leave the rodeo, you're hungry, you want a good meal, get into the Roo Pub because the food there is fantastic, all made from scratch. They got the biggest and best wings in town, about 15 different burgers on the menu, great salads, great appetizers, and that kitchen is open late till 2 a.m. every day with the full menu available. Of course, the Roo Pub has all the beers you want and a full bar. The game room has the best darts area in town. They even have indoor cornhole. The Roo Pub does have happy hour weekdays from 11 to 6. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. In the same shopping center as the new Big Blind, the Roo Pub, right next to the Angry Elephant, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. And in the process, started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. The ugly truth is when you buy a timeshare, you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. I recently helped a couple that had their maintenance fees go from $800 to $3,200 a year. They also received a $4,000 assessment for a hurricane that was over 1,000 miles away. Sound crazy? The crazy thing is this never ends. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call for your free information kit. Call 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. 800-462-3333.
Patients everywhere are experiencing joint pain relief thanks to QC Kinetics regenerative treatments. So how does this non-surgical approach work? QC Kinetics Medical Director Dr. Aaron Wolkoff explains.
Is like when you get a paper cut and the cells that come onto that scene first stop the bleeding, and then it recruits more cells to form new skin and new soft tissue. And then you look down a week later, 2 weeks later, and it's like nothing happened and that paper cut never existed.
In this same way, QC Kinetics uses your natural biologics to help repair and restore aching knees, hips, shoulders, and backs.
We take those same similar cells in different areas that are arthritic, are painful, and we cause this kind of internal self-healing that can resolve patients' pain.
Relief without surgery. See if you're a candidate for QC Kinetics regenerative treatments.
Call QC Kinetics, 210-571-0318. That's 210-571-0318. 210-571-0318. 0318.
Febreze. Fabric Talk. Hey, it's me, your couch. Today's my favorite day of the week. Febreze Fabric Spray Day. The occasional deep cleans are nice, but in between, you know I'm needing a refresh. Ooh, here she comes with the Febreze Fabric Spray. Oh yeah, spritz them armrests. Don't be shy. Nothing like a good spray down to get me smelling so fresh and clean. Don't forget my back. Nice. Febreze Fabric Spray. It's just that easy. Now we can both breathe happy. Febreze. La 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 la.
Pizza's here. Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
My friend and I are taking a trip to Mexico this year, but neither of us speak Spanish. So we downloaded Babbel and started learning Spanish fast.
Want to start getting conversational in another language in as little as 3 weeks? Babbel's quick 10-minute lessons were designed by language experts to be the most efficient and effective way to learn a new language.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com.
This is Jim Rome. Join me weekdays at noon on my new home, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Glad to have you along here on this Tuesday. If you did some grilling over the long holiday weekend, you know you took photos of that great meat. Make sure you upload those meat pictures to sasportstar.com, the Grilling with the Blitz page, because on Thursday we'll judge it and give away a $50 gift card to Tri-County Meat Market.
To get you ready for the weekend ahead.
That's it.
Go over there, get your meat, and you're all set.
That's what we do.
So that's it.
That's what
exactly
we do.
Right.
We like to judge lots of things.
Yes, we do.
And
that's our job, isn't it?
Yeah, we're judgy people.
Yeah, we are.
Judge Joe.
I like the sound of that.
There's probably some show already called Judge Joe.
Probably so.
Before or after Judy, that becomes the question.
Well, Judy was she's kind of like the king or queen of
Judge
shows.
Wapner? Oh, you got to go Wapner first. I mean, give the man his credit.
Judge I forgot about Wapner.
Look at that. Joe Brown.
Judge Joe
Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be fun to be a judge on one of those shows.
Well, I think they're actually judges.
Well, I know they are, but I mean, yeah, you don't have all the serious stuff that most judges have to deal with.
Kind of like us here. We don't have to do we've got to fix the world's problems one all-star game at a time. When you think about this weekend's all-star game, what did you really think, and what are your ideas on how the NBA can fix it? 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776 on Twitter, at Joe Reinagel 210. Tweet at me, at Jason Minix. And if you're watching on YouTube, you can comment there as long as you have subscribed to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel.
Please do. We would appreciate it.
Yeah, and side note, there's a benefit for all of us. If I don't know, I forget what the goal is, but for our golf tournament coming up March 25th at the Golf Club of Texas, if we hit some number, Rob and RJ from the Morning Cuddle are going to do, what's it called? The Hot Ones Challenge?
The Hot Ones?
Yes, the Hot Ones, where they are going to eat food that, while on YouTube, that gets excessively hotter. Apparently there's a show out there that does this on a regular, and their guests come on, and by the end of it, they got snot running out, they're sweating there.
Boy, I can't wait to see that.
Well, so go subscribe so we can punish Rob and RJ.
I think that's brilliant. I didn't know this was a thing. I'm glad to be hearing about
I
it.
learned that this morning while I was filling in for Rob, who took the day off today.
Okay, well, good.
I don't know if Rob's fully aware of what he has been committed to, because I sure as hell wouldn't do this.
He's hooked now, regardless. We put it out there in public.
Yeah.
It's out there.
So you blitzers help out the morning guys.
Yeah, they need your help.
The brigade, they call them.
The brigade.
They call the YouTube section in the morning the brigade bar.
The brigade bar.
Yes.
Okay.
RJ must have come up with that.
The cuddle, the brigade bar. Wow.
There's a lot going on over there.
A lot happening, isn't there? Yes.
You should wake up early one day and do a show with RJ.
Well, I just might.
You'll learn all kinds of things.
You never know.
You never know.
I just might.
Fixing the All-Star game is clearly something that the NBA has to look at, because, quite frankly, the whole weekend sucked. Now, I knew it was going to suck, so I wasn't mad about it. It did not exceed or disappoint me, because there was no way it could exceed my extremely low expectations, to the point I went and saw a movie. We went and saw the new Bob Marley movie called One Love.
In the actual theater.
In the actual theater.
Nice.
We're over at the Palladium. Well, actually,
I haven't been there. Haven't been there in a while.
Went to the movies. So on, I guess, Saturday night during the skills competition, I was, what was I doing? I was watching New Jersey Devils and Philadelphia Flyers in the Stadium Series game at MetLife. But on the second TV, I had the skills challenge, and when Wemby was on, I flipped over. The Friday night stuff, I was at the movie theater. Sunday night, during the game, I went and saw Machine Head at the Aztec Theater, and I was cool with not seeing a damn part of it, because the NBA, the All-Star game is so bad, I don't care, right?
It's awful.
It's awful.
It's awful, and it has been awful for a long time. And even the skills challenge now is like, it's the same old stuff. Yeah, I tried to watch a little bit of that, and it's like, it's just the same tired stuff. Well, they scored 211 points.
Yeah.
211 points.
If the players don't care, why should we as fans?
They don't give a damn. And look, why not just give them a week off? Do we really need an all-star? You can designate them all-stars. You're an all-star.
Now,
congratulations.
Major League Baseball, their game is their game, and it's baseball.
It sucks too.
The home run derby, but of all the all-star games, I mean, Major League Baseball and the home run derby, I think, have passed NBA All-Star Weekend. It used to be the slam dunk contest was the thing, must-watch television.
My solitaire game passed the NBA All-Star game.
Wow. NHL, I like some of the stuff that they do, but most All-Star games, they kind of suck. But the players don't care. And because they are making so much money, the financial incentive that players get, because they're all-star players, it isn't worth it for them to go out there and try. But for the NBA, for Major League Baseball, and for the NHL, that's their crown jewel event of the year, because their championships are all played in home stadiums, and you have no idea where they are, where the Super Bowl is a neutral site, so the NFL can plan for their big event. And hey, we're all going to Vegas next year. We're all going to New Orleans. You know, the NBA, they can only do that with their All-Star game. Major League Baseball is the same way, and everything is sponsored, so it's still making money. And that's what Adam Silver is trying to protect. How do I keep this money coming in? Because if we lose this, where are we going to make up those revenues? So what can they do to make the All-Star game more appealing? Hell, I think they even screwed up the damn uniform. Seeing Wemby in that brown UPS-looking outfit was pissing me off. You're a Spur. Show up and be representative of what your uniform is.
Just wear your own deal. Now, according to Carlos on our YouTube channel, says viewership jumped 14% from last year. And, okay, 5.5 million viewers. That's fantastic. And I don't know if those numbers are accurate or not. I have not looked them up.
Carlos isn't going to lie to us.
Well, I'm sure he won't. He wouldn't want to anyway. Yeah, if people want to watch that crap, watch it.
Well,
I don't understand. And Carlos or anybody else that's out there, please tell me what it is about the All-Star game that entertains you. I would really like to know.
210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. What entertains you about it? How do they fix it? Because it's a problem. And Adam Silver's even said,
yes,
it's a problem. They have to figure out how to fix it. Tito has an idea. Hey, Tito, you're on the Blitz. What's up, man?
Hey, what's up, guys? One, the dunk contest, we need more all-stars. Back in the day, you know, we all remember Jordan and all those folks actually doing slam dunks. So we need more all-stars in the slam dunk. In the actual game, maybe doing what the Major League used to do is if the East wins, they get home field or home court advantage during the playoffs.
No.
It's not throwing more money at them because they got it already. We can't incentivize them with more money. That they're not going to put any effort. But maybe that, I don't know. Anyways, I'll see you guys at the Golf Classic. I got my tickets. Thanks for the call.
Appreciate it, Tito. Thanks for calling in, even with a bad idea. You can't go. Baseball tried that; it didn't work. They got away from it. The East or the West wins, and they're talking about going USA versus the world. But you work too hard to get home court. You can't give that up because of an all-star game.
I was just hoping Tito would say, "Drink more Tito's."
You think it was that, Tito?
Could have been. Drink more Tito's. That'll make it more interesting.
Well, yeah, possible. Hey, Manny, you're on the Blitz. What's up, man?
Yeah, hey guys, I was watching the NBA All-Star Weekend. It's for the kids, you guys. It's this is all for the kids to see all their superheroes: LeBron, Curry. Share the court, Durant. It's Nickelodeon. You know, it's for the kids. Might as well put it on Nickelodeon and have SpongeBob do the rest. It's all for the kids, man. All love for the kids.
You know, and to a degree, there is that. Although
I'd like to see SpongeBob running around as an official. That'd be great.
You know, and get the slime when they miss a dunk or something. To a degree, and when I think about the viewership numbers that were posted, is that I want to look, and you should look. When is that from TNT? Because there wasn't competition that night, so that wouldn't surprise me if that was the average, and then you can find out what the peak was and how long did people stay, or is that total views that also includes videos that were on all the different social platforms reaching the young people? Because I've seen the highlights, I saw stuff that was on social, but I wasn't watching the traditional broadcast. So total viewers there, the idea that what else was on various platforms, who knows? I mean, it's getting criticized, and I saw a headline rating soar, and that might be true, but will it continue? Did this year, because Adam Silver said they were going to try to do things differently to make it better over last year, we all tuned in and realized, well, this still sucks, right? Because he told us they were doing things to make it better. And I think they tried, but until the players care, until the players try, it won't matter what they try to do.
Well, look, it's kind of like the Pro Bowl in the NFL, which, by the way, for the ratings soaring for the NBA All-Star game, they still fell flat behind the Pro Bowl. And the Pro Bowl sucks. So, I mean, these All-Star games, and I get it, they got to have them. They get paid. There's incentives and all of that kind of stuff. I get all of that. But, you have to be a diehard to watch that stuff. Home Run Derby, it's entertaining for a while. It's all right. Pro Bowl, I don't know what the draw is, honestly. And I don't have the answer to fix it.
Well, your answer was do away with it, which isn't the answer.
I'd love to do away with it. I think they should designate LeBron and company as all-stars, give them their incentives, and then they can go off to Cabo for a week.
But there's still the event part. The players have to care. And I know they don't want to risk injury. But at the same time, you got to go out there and play. I mean, maybe. Here's an idea. Just thought of this, so I haven't thought this through. Maybe $1 million to the winning team. Losing team has to donate $2 million to charity. That might get them to play a little bit.
Well, I'm sure it would, but some of those guys, make a lot more money than some of the others.
Most of those that are in the All-Star game can afford a $2 million charitable donation. But it's look, if a financial incentive doesn't get you to play hard, a financial consequence might.
It might. Yeah.
You get a fine if you lose this game.
$2 million.
Congratulations. Well, I mean, it's got to hurt.
Sure.
I mean, nobody. Look, LeBron. What is he making? 40 something a year this year?
Well, he's a billionaire.
He's a billionaire.
He's fine.
But even he doesn't want to write a $2 million
I think it's
check.
$56 million. It's mid-50s.
Yeah, whatever it is. I mean, all of those guys are making in the teens when it comes to. So 49 million this year for LeBron.
Yeah. All right.
You know, and after California taxes, he's at 24. See, and now you lost the All-Star game. Here's a $2 million. Now you choose the charity, but make it a financial consequence for these guys.
Hey, you got to start somewhere, and I'm all for that. Why not? Got to do something to fix it where they do care, and because it's clear they don't. They certainly don't play any defense. That's for sure.
No, defense is optional.
It's awful.
Defense is optional.
211 points.
You seem surprised by that.
I am. Is that the most?
Yes.
That's like a record, is it not?
Yes.
Yeah, usually it's 160, 170.
I saw a quote from Adam Silver that essentially said, I'm not quoting directly, he doesn't mind high scoring, but he prefers competitive. And that wasn't competitive.
Not at all.
Not at all. It was awful. Kind of like the Cowboys defense was against the Green Bay Packers. Micah Parsons All-Star Weekend. Of course, it's the Cowboys. They dominate a whole other league's crown jewel. We'll talk about what Micah had to say coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Yeah, I went to Parkhurst New Vision on Friday because Maggie got an adjustment to her lens replacement. It was so great to walk back in that place and see Dr. Nasser and all the fine folks that work there at Parkhurst New Vision. Look, I am a huge fan of Parkhurst New Vision for obvious reasons. What they've done for my wife, Maggie, she spent all weekend looking around and going, man, that's clear. Man, I can see that. Wow, look at that. And they can do the same thing for you. They've done it for me as well. You just have to take the first step and give Parkhurst New Vision a call. 210-585-2020. You can also check them out online at sanantoniolasik.com. They offer a variety of services at Parkhurst New Vision. When you call them, though, to set up your consultation, the first thing I'd like for you to do, if you would, tell them that I sent you, Joe Reinagle from the Blitz. Second thing you do is pull out all your questions, any concerns that you have. Tell them everything. They will answer them till you feel comfortable. They are the best in the business. I'm convinced of it. Parkhurst New Vision. Give them a call and let them do for you what they've done for my family. 210-585-2020.
It's the Morning Huddle with Rob and RJ.
Wednesday on the Morning Huddle, the San Antonio Spurs are back in action tomorrow. What would constitute a success across the regular season? We're going to tell you. Also, Micah Parsons continues to talk. And what do we have to say about all of his opinions on, well, quite frankly, everything? We're going to get into all of it and everything under the sun. We start at 6 a.m. Make sure to bring the coffee on the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at tra.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with everything I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of dry AMD called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, colors appear dull or washed out. For others, hazy or blurred vision make it hard to see details, like fine print on price tags. Many have trouble seeing in the dark, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you think you have GA, don't wait. Treatments are available. Ask a retina specialist about FDA-approved treatments for GA and go to gawon'twait.com.
Hey guys, Jason Minix here from the Blitz. Do you have a lack of energy, motivation, possibly low libido? These symptoms could be caused by low T levels. At Synergenics, their medical providers exclusively specialize in customized testosterone treatment, and they make it quick and easy to get your levels checked. And at Synergenics, you get your results back at your first visit. Book your appointment now. Go to fixmylowt.com. That's fixmylowt.com.
You want to know the difference between Steve Allison and Mark LaHood? Steve Allison defends kids. Mark LaHood defends violent criminals. Steve Allison banned drag shows for children. LaHood brags on his own law website about getting sex offenders off the hook. Steve Allison is a lifelong conservative. LaHood voted for liberal Democrats, including Joe Biden, all the way up until 2022. Steve designated Mexican drug cartels as terrorists. LaHood chooses to defend Mexican drug traffickers, putting them back on the streets. Steve Allison empowered police to arrest and deport illegal immigrants. Mark LaHood defended a violent criminal who was caught trying to murder a Border Patrol agent. The NRA, San Antonio Police Officers Association, and the Bexar County Deputy Sheriffs all endorsed Steve Allison. LaHood's campaign is paid for by neo-Nazi affiliates and criminals he's gotten off the hook. Steve Allison is honest and decent. Everything LaHood says about Steve is false. Every word. Now you know the difference.
Political ad paid for by the Steve Allison campaign.
Get to Twin Peaks for their beer-battered fish and chips. This beer-battered cod is served with house-made tartar, malt vinegar, and french fries, and score them along with a 22-ounce Miller Lite or Coors Light for just $12. That's every Friday through Easter. Twin Peaks!
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1, San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Our Spring Golf Classic coming up March 25th out at the Golf Club of Texas, brought to you by Flight by Yingling. 4-person scramble. Sign up as a foursome. It's $100. $120 if you're signing up as an individual. We're about half full already.
I would say that, yeah. And it's going to go quick. Got my white belt all polished up.
You polished
ready
the
to
white
go?
belt?
Well, not really, but a little 409.
409?
Whatever.
How'd that go again?
You know what 409 is, don't you, Pledge?
Well, I do. I was just wondering.
Yeah,
that
409, you clean like the stove.
Well, yeah, but it's good for anything. You can even use Windex
to clean
a
belt.
Of course.
What is your belt material made out of?
Leather.
Oh, okay.
I guess it's leather.
Well, probably pleather.
Probably, which is cool. It works.
So it's not a cloth belt.
No,
okay.
It's not a cloth belt.
So it's got.
Now I have a black cloth belt.
Yeah.
That I wear to play golf on occasion, if the white belt is not appropriate.
When is the white belt not appropriate to play golf?
Well, during is it after Labor Day?
I think that's white pants, not a white belt.
I think,
but I am the last person to ask about fashion rules.
It applies to white belts, I think. Although, I only have white golf shoes.
Okay, so white belt.
So yeah, you kind of have to do that.
Yeah, actually, my golf shoes are now kind of gray.
Oh yeah,
gray or silver. I mean, kind of,
Now I've got a gray pair.
So should I wear a gray belt?
Yeah, you should always match your shoes.
Well, my black belt and my gray, it's my ode to the Spurs.
Oh, that's fine.
Let's see. But then again, if you're wearing a belt, you got to tuck in your shirt. If your shirt's untucked, then it doesn't matter.
You should always tuck in your shirt.
Well, it starts tucked, but by the
And then
third hole, it's untucked.
Well, that's fine. But you got to start with the shirt tucked
Well, it
in.
depends when the photographer's rolling around.
No, it doesn't depend.
It really does.
No, you got to tuck your shirt in. A little, little respect for the game, Minix.
Respect to the game.
Respect to the game.
All
Tuck
right.
your shirt in.
All right, Mr. Pro Golfer, respect to the game. BS.
I actually had to wear pants to play golf this weekend. It was.
I was about
chilly.
to go there. Do you wear pants now? All of a sudden,
I had to. It was cold. Although Sunday was actually
You
better
didn't
than yesterday.
Have to. You chose to.
Well, I look like an idiot if I'm out there in shorts.
Why would you look like an idiot if you were in shorts?
Because it's cold.
Was
Do you
it?
get the concept of cold? No shorts. You wear pants.
Were you wearing a long sleeve shirt?
I was. Little half zip.
Did it encumber your swing?
I prefer not to do that, but I actually played pretty well both days. Not bad.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, you were seeing 3 balls by the end. I mean, are you sure you played well, or the drinking made you think you were playing well?
I played well until that. Until it kicked in about 16. I'm like, damn, these peanut butter whiskey shots are strong.
On a cold day, why weren't you drinking Fireball?
It wasn't Sunday wasn't bad. The sun was out and there was no wind blowing. Yesterday was just the opposite. It wasn't the opposite. The sun was still out, but the wind was blowing. A little more cold yesterday than it was on Sunday.
It's deceivingly colder than it appears.
Yeah.
The deception is real because it looks nice. Yesterday morning, I go out to put on a couple of tri-tips there early in the morning, and it was so cold.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that. So when I go on my Instagram, you know how it tells you what the temperature? It said 32.
32.
32. What the? I go to start the Traeger and it said cold water, cold temperature warm. I'm like, how cold is it? Winter's over.
No, it's not. It's still February, man.
Mentally,
I'm hoping
I'm done with winter.
It's supposed to be 80 something, like
When?
tomorrow or Thursday.
Really?
Yeah. We could actually wear shorts to work.
Well, it's 79 right now.
That's what I'm saying.
According to my phone. Yeah, 80 tomorrow, 84 on Thursday.
Yeah. You see
Weekend
that?
looks good.
Hopefully it's over. I mean, if that little groundhog wasn't lying to us, the weather was supposed to be, winter's supposed to be over. Dude saw a shadow. Spring is near.
What's his name?
What is his name? Wiley?
Or Phil.
Or Phil.
Good Lord, Joe.
Phil. Wiley.
From a groundhog
Billy
to a lion. Yeah. Did you watch any of the Celebrity All-Star game?
I did.
That wasn't bad.
That was okay.
Micah Parsons was MVP.
Uh-huh.
He was trying. He wanted to win. He wanted to dominate.
Of course he
wanted
did.
to stick it to CJ Stroud. It is amazing the brand of the Dallas Cowboys. They dominate Super Bowl week when they're not there year after year. They dominated the news cycle with NBA All-Star Weekend because Micah won the Celebrity Game MVP, but then also he goes on Stephen A's podcast. And my guess is Stephen A had no plans on getting that sit down with Micah Parsons because from a equipment setup, they weren't prepared. The way they were sitting, Stephen A was off mic for half of it.
Yeah, he was.
Micah, yeah, let's talk. What? All right, let's do it. We're doing it live on tape. Let's get it done. And Micah did tell some interesting, I want to say stories. He had some interesting answers. And one of them was sitting down with Jerry Jones, and he talked with Jerry about the personnel that the Cowboys need.
So I told Jerry, I said, look at every team that kind of was in that Final Four? Who did they have?
San Francisco, Detroit.
Okay. Who did Baltimore have? A great linebacker core, right? Who did San Fran have? Great linebacker core. KC, Bolton, and they came along. I said, we need to get another bigger linebacker who's going to come down and I said, we need to get a super 330 nasty interior. Look how Eric Armstead, Javon Hargrave caused havoc in, the last 2 games. Look at, how Ali McNeil, Detroit, and they front with Hutchinson and all them. It's just certain things where I was pinpointing we can build in this because we're slim. Like we have guys, and I think Osa's been great for us, and but we just need a big old 330 can't move. Because I saw the way Chris Jones affected that Super Bowl, and I was like, my God, like
we need a big boy. Get fast and clogging up the line of scrimmage. Things happen,
right? And not even just Chris Jones, Mike Pennell.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I think we got a lot of rushers. I think Osa, he could play inside, outside, one of the most versatile DTs. And when we lost Hank, he's a big dude. But we need to get one of them big old nasty pass rushing, get going.
Get going. Yeah. Hey.
That's a great way to end it there.
Yeah, didn't they draft a guy like that? The guy he was describing?
Yeah, Mozzie Smith, it was about 330.
Yeah.
They wanted him to lose weight, although his biggest splash this year for the Dallas Cowboys was in training camp wearing red underwear that said send nudes.
Yes.
That you could easily see through his white pants.
Yes.
And if you're Mozzie Smith and you hear Micah Parsons basically say, yeah, we don't have that guy, how are you feeling?
Yeah, you gotta be horrible.
I saw a way too early mock draft that basically have the Cowboys replacing a guy just like Mozzie Smith, targeting him in the first round, a kid that plays at Illinois. I mean, is Mozzie Smith a bust? Is that what we just heard from Micah Parsons, who, again, not throwing teammates under the bus? But if you're Micah Parsons, if you're Mozzie Smith, how do you take that when you hear that from Micah Parsons?
Well, you don't feel good, but I think to label Mozzie Smith a bust right now is a little premature. Let's see what he does. I think you got to give the kid another year, see where he's at, see if he learned anything in the offseason, how hard is he going to work in the offseason. And I think you got to give him another year. Look, we all sat here, you, me, Pledge, Rob, everybody, when they drafted Mozzie Smith, man, this is a great pick.
Yep.
We all did. And so I still believe that it is. And hopefully he'll prove us all right this next season.
Well, and to be fair to Mozzie, a lot of people said it does take a while, couple 3 years to really develop into an NFL player.
Well, he doesn't have that long.
I mean, he's got as long as his rookie contract, but
Yes.
but in reality, if he's another Taco Charlton for the Cowboys, that's brutal.
Those
Now,
Michigan men.
What we also heard though was Micah Parsons basically talking about the kind of players that fit the Mike Zimmer system, which makes me feel like, all right, he's done his homework on his new boss. He knows what Mike Zimmer wants. And Micah Parsons isn't wrong. Now, Jerry getting that advice from Micah, I think, is Jerry just letting the guy speak his mind. Now, if Jerry comes out and says, well, Micah told me to draft this one and told me to get that one and get this guy in free agency, we've got a bigger problem. But I have no problem with Jerry talking to his star players about what they need. I forgot, and RJ Ochoa reminded me this morning when I was in for Rob, who had the day off today, that Dak also wanted Jalen Tolbert. And that really hasn't worked out well either. So, and look, those guys come in, they work out with quarterbacks. You might see something that you like from a guy. And maybe if you're trying to decide between this one or that one, well, Dak liked him, so let's take him. Or Micah, he's a team leader, whether you like it or not. Micah Parsons is a team leader. If there's a guy that he really likes and you're trying to decide, and the difference between the two is that, all right, maybe. I have no problem with Jerry talking to Micah about personnel and what he sees issues with the defense.
Yeah, I mean, what he just told Stephen A., and I don't think they're going to go and say, hey, you like this guy or that guy when it comes to Micah Parsons. But Micah did mention linebackers and big defensive linemen. So, I mean, that would tell me, if I'm Jerry Jones, look, that whole experiment of, small linebackers didn't work out too well. Maybe we need to beef up that position a little bit.
And Bell can go back to being a safety.
Well, yeah, and depending on what happens with Van Der Esch, whether he comes back or not. I don't think he's going to, but, you got that style of linebackers what the Cowboys were missing.
Yeah, now the Ringer is way too early mock draft. Have the Cowboys at pick 24 taking Illinois defensive tackle Jerzon Newton. So, when you're talking to your friends and you want to sound smart, that's who the Ringer is thinking.
Well, we'll see, right? The Combine's next week. Isn't that crazy?
It's just the calendar, man. It keeps on moving.
So the Cowboys will be dominating things again next week.
Yeah, and in a couple of days, this week, February 22nd, is a advanced screening of the movie Shogun at Santikos Casablanca Theater. You want to win a pair of tickets to the advanced screening, plus free popcorn and free drinks? Be caller number 9 right now, and those tickets and that popcorn and those drinks, that's all yours. 210-656-ESPN. 656-3776. Caller 9. You're a winner here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
And while you're dialing in, I got a message for you that's going to change your dental game in about 60 seconds. I want to ask you a question. You fed up with the same old dental routine? You know what I'm talking about. Those endless trips to the dentist, dealing with missing teeth, temporary fixes that never seem to stick. Well, I've got the answer. It's Doctor's Implants. At Doctor's Implants, they're board-certified oral and facial surgeons. Well, they're ready to transform your smile. You can say goodbye to the frustration of traditional dentistry and welcome a brighter future. Don't let old school dentistry hold you back any longer. Call Doctor's Implants, 210-640-0000. When you call, tell them that I sent you, Joe Reinagle from the Blitz. You're going to get a complimentary consultation and a CT scan. Your journey to a perfect smile begins at Doctor's Implants. So don't wait. Call them today, 210-640-0000.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Spring Golf Classic is set. Monday, March 25th at Golf Club of Texas. With plenty of prizes, including a shot at $50,000 in a trip to the big game. Go to sasportstar.com and get signed up. A 4-person scramble, $120 per player to join, or a group of 4 can sign up together for $400. It's the San Antonio Spring Golf Classic, benefiting the Will Smith Foundation. Monday, March 25th, presented by Flight by Yingling and 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
If you're dealing with any kind of injury, you need to know about the Sports Institute at TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine and the Ortho Now Injury Clinic. And at Ortho Now, they provide walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, strains, conveniently located in the Corey area with extended hours Monday through Saturday. They have on-site x-ray, casting, and bracing. Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, but best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. So if you're injured, get to an Ortho Now Injury Clinic. Learn more online at tsaog.com. That's tsaog.com.
When Liberal Alan Schoolcraft served in the Texas House in the 80s and 90s, Schoolcraft voted for every Democrat House Speaker over and over again. Liberal Schoolcraft also donated thousands to Democrat Henry Cuellar, and Liberal Schoolcraft authored legislation to double fees, but never cut taxes or protect life. In his last losing campaign in 1992, the San Antonio Express-News actually retracted their endorsement of Schoolcraft because he was caught lying about his opponents. Now, Liberal Schoolcraft is lying about conservative John Kemple and running with a dangerous plan that defunds Guadalupe and Gonzales County schools and hikes your taxes by $2 billion. Let liberal liar Alan Schoolcraft keep enjoying his retirement from politics. Conservative John Kemple is endorsed by the NRA, Texas Alliance for Life, and every police group. Kemple cut property taxes a historic $18 billion and increased border funding by 630% to shut down Biden's open border. If it's conservative, John Kemple gets it done.
Political ad paid for by the John Kemple campaign. Denise has been playing jazz for 40 years. Last concert, one of the musicians fell sick with RSV. Respiratory syncytial virus, or RSV, is a highly contagious virus that can lead to breathing problems. This time, she's choosing to help protect herself with Pfizer's RSV vaccine, Abrysvo. Abrysvo is a vaccine for the prevention of lower respiratory tract disease caused by respiratory syncytial virus, RSV, in adults 60 years of age and older. Abrysvo is not for everyone and may not protect all who receive the vaccine. Don't get Abrysvo if you've had a severe allergic reaction to its ingredients. People with a weakened immune system may have a decreased response to Abrysvo. The most common side effects are tiredness, headache, pain at the injection site, and muscle pain. Ask your pharmacist or doctor about Pfizer's RSV vaccine, Abrysvo, respiratory syncytial virus vaccine. For full prescribing information, please call 1-844-989-7284 or visit abrysvo.com. Brought to you by Pfizer.
Psst, hey, Mark, remember, getting help from Progressive is so easy. You can use the mobile app, chat with us online, or call us. And you pick now to tell me. I couldn't miss Little Grace's ballet recital. Oh, thanks for inviting me, by the way. Did I? Because you know I'm always here for you. Yeah. I can use the mobile app if I need help. Sorry, you're in my wife's seat, though. Oh, yeah, I gotta go anyway. Tell Grace she nailed her chassé.
Get the help you need from Progressive with our mobile app, online chat, or over the phone. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Imagine your team always looking and feeling their best in high-performance technical workwear. Cintas can make it happen. They have garments for almost every job imaginable. And with the Cintas Workwear program, you get freshly laundered garments delivered every week for everyone on your team. Great garments without the bother of laundry. That's a real perk for employees. Find out how Cintas can boost team image and morale. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
KTFM Floresville. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's good!
Your home for Major League Baseball. San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, the Incarnate Word basketball team making national headlines today following a brawl that occurred in the postgame handshake line. Cardinals fell at home to Texas A&M Commerce in overtime. Both schools issued a joint statement apologizing for the incident. And the Texas Longhorns busy over the weekend. Head coach Steve Sarkisian, well, he nearly doubled his annual compensation to more than $10 million per. Wow.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Glad to have you along on this Tuesday afternoon.
Absolutely. Welcome in. Hope everybody's having a great day.
Absolutely. Rodeo day for Reinagel.
It is. Looking forward to
the
it.
Reinagels take on the rodeo.
Taking over the rodeo. Sticks tonight. Looking forward to that. I haven't seen them in a while.
What do you define as a while?
Jeez.
2 years, 5 years,
time.
30 years?
Wow. At least.
At least what? 2, 5, or 30?
At least all of those.
Have you looked up to see how many original members?
I was told by somebody I trust that there are 2 original members still.
Somebody you trust. In other words, you were too lazy to look it up yourself, or you wouldn't know if they were original members or not?
Well, I would know.
You would know?
I mean, I could probably do that real quick if I wanted to.
You don't care enough. As long as they're playing the songs that you remember.
And they sound good. I mean, it's kind of like that dude that, took over for Steve Perry with Journey.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same songs. He sounds a lot like him, although Perry's a lot better. But
he sounds just like him, but Perry is so much better.
He really is.
It is interesting when you think about Journey. Listening to that dude, which his name is Pineda.
Pineda.
He sounds great.
Uh-huh.
He really does. He just looks so different than Steve Perry that it just, his voice and it just doesn't match. And when you're watching them, you're like, dude, you're not Steve Perry. You know.
No.
And that's the hard part with Journey. You can replace a lot of people in a band, except for the lead singer is hard to replace. It's like Van Halen, you know. And see, now you got two different Van Halen groups, those that like Hagar and those that don't.
I like Hagar, but alone, not with Van Halen.
Yes. So if Sammy Hagar is just playing a show somewhere, you're down with that.
Right.
As long as he's not doing Van Halen.
Now, David Lee Roth, I mean, he was a special talent, right?
Yeah.
Same with Steve Perry. I mean, those guys were just, they were good. But, yeah, it's just different. It really is. So there's two members is what I'm seeing here that are still there. So Tommy Shaw, who's a famous guy with sticks.
You have no idea, do you?
No, I do. Tommy Shaw, yes. I remember him. Guitar player.
And who's the other guy? You Googled
James
it. All
J.Y. Young.
J.Y. Young.
Yeah.
J.Y. Young.
Uh-huh. Don't really recall him.
And what does he do in the band?
I'm not sure.
So Wikipedia doesn't give you that info?
They don't. Looking forward to it, though. Should be fun. Hopefully it all sounds the same. And
that's it. You got live. Just go watch live music.
Exactly.
Speaking of, you know whose birthday it would have been today if he was still with us?
Who's that?
Kurt Cobain.
Really?
You talk about a band can't lose the lead singer.
Yeah, that dude's been gone for a long time.
Long time.
Yeah.
Long time.
Wow.
And think about it. Dave Grohl was the drummer.
Yeah.
If Kurt Cobain doesn't end it, then we might not ever have the Foo Fighters.
Wow. That would be a shame.
It would be.
It would be.
If Dave Grohl would have taken a job as the drummer for Tom Petty, we might not have the Foo Fighters.
Huh. You see how things work out that way?
Yeah.
It's kind of nice.
It's pretty amazing.
Yes.
You never know how it's going to work out. In fact, you know, and that's sometimes where Facebook memories are kind of cool.
Uh-huh.
You shared a Facebook memory today.
I did.
From your days at Ken's 5.
Now, that picture was probably taken 20 years ago because Chris Maru's there.
If you're watching on YouTube, I'm going to show you on YouTube. Look at a young Joe Reinagle.
And Bill Taylor, he looks like a kid.
He does.
Yeah, I saw Bill Taylor the other day. I gotta call him and say, dude, yeah, put some brown dye in your hair.
What are you saying?
Well, he's seasoned.
A little too much salt with this salt and pepper?
Apparently so.
Well, I mean, I'm looking at this thinking, when I first saw Sarah Lucero, I was like, who is that? Because I don't remember Sarah with that much, that hairstyle. I guess that must have been in at the time. The consultant was like, yeah.
The hairstyle? Yeah, mine hasn't changed at all.
Yours hasn't changed. I'm talking about Sarah Lucero.
Oh,
and
yes.
who in that picture, who has more hairspray, you or Sarah Lucero?
Probably me. I would just be a guess.
Well, it's a safe bet.
Yeah. I would say so.
It was an old refrigerator magnet.
Uh-huh. Now that one, because I can't remember when Maru left Ken's 5, but that picture has to be 20 years old.
At least.
At least.
At least. The good old Ken's 5 days.
Wow. Where we had refrigerator magnets. Who knew?
Who knew?
Wow.
Well, that was also on billboards.
It was.
I mean, in some ways, I mean, aside from when Maru, Dan Cook, and Albert Flores dominated the ratings.
Yeah, and they did.
That foursome with Sarah, Chris, you, and Bill, that was kind of the second heyday, the extension of the heyday.
So Pledge tells me, because he looked it up, and I appreciate him doing that Maru left Ken's 5 in 2009. So I'm assuming that picture then was, well, it had to be sometime between 2002 and 2009.
Well, yeah, when did Sarah get there?
Sarah, yeah, that's a good question.
I mean, math is hard. We understand that. It's an old picture.
It's an old picture. And Sarah may not want us talking about how old that picture is.
Well,
yeah, for me, I don't give a damn.
Dude,
but
she's running Iron Man. She's fine.
Well, that's true. She could use a cheeseburger, though.
What are you saying?
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, she's such great shape that
she can have a cheat day or 6.
She ought to have a couple of cheat days.
She should. She should. Speaking of Ken's 5.
Channel
5 is in our building.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Hey.
Channel reporter, you have no idea who that reporter is.
I don't. That's a new reporter. Yes. I recognize you. Yes.
You.
Who's
over there? Photographer. So Ken's 5 is coming to our studio.
They have.
They want reaction.
That was nice of them.
To the UIW brawl last night, that basket brawl that we all saw. And I guess they're coming to us because nobody at UIW is talking. They put a muzzle on everybody. But what do you think the league, the conference, the school, what should they do? And we'll tell you now, if you want to call in, you might hear yourself on Channel 5 tonight at 10.
Is this a 10 o'clock piece? All right, it's a 10 o'clock piece.
It's not a 5 o'clock piece. It's 4:09 right now.
I'm just making sure. Yeah, see how they coddle these reporters now? It's 4 o'clock. She got 6 hours to put this piece together.
6. It better win awards.
You see how that is?
6.
Dude, I had like 20 seconds.
Oh, wow.
Bam.
Back in my day, Reinagel, here we go.
No, we're very happy that Ken's 5 is here. Anytime I can.
I'm sure that those over at Channel 5, Phil and I, prepped this crew on what they were dealing with old man Reinagel.
You think so?
I hope so. I hope so.
Yeah, Phil and I is another one's getting a little salt and pepper in the old beard.
Yeah,
there.
he's got to stop that no shave November thing because his beard looks like crap.
But if he didn't have the beard, he looks like he's 12.
Again, but with beard, he looks like crap.
Well,
I mean, he does.
Phil Anaya,
that's a guy that should not have a beard.
Yeah, it's Phil Anaya, you know?
He can't really grow one.
Yeah. Well, Barry Davis the same way over there. He's got a big Grizzly Adams-looking beard.
Yeah, but, I mean, he's distinguished.
Are we talking about the same guy?
He's on too early in the morning for me to say. I don't know.
I miss the old peeps over at Ken's
but radio
5.
is so much better.
Well, it is. Like, what time is it? It's 4:11.
4:11.
I'm going to be off work at 6 o'clock.
Technically 5:30. We got A&M basketball
that's
tonight.
True. Very true.
Even better.
I used to have to hang around till 10 o'clock and later.
Yeah. Well, and back in your day, the reporters would be in here at 4:10, and it'd be at the 5 o'clock news ready to go.
And 3 packages, 5, 6, and 10.
Absolutely.
Crazy.
Man, these kids today.
I'm telling you.
Get off my lawn. If you want to talk about the basket brawl last night, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. We're talking about it and taking your calls coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. If you're a business owner, a manager, a club leader, and you need your logo on any kind of gear, get into Sammy's Embroidery and Printing over on San Pedro. If you need caps done, Sam has over 25,000 caps and more than 75 color combinations on display in his showroom, including the popular Richardson 112 style trucker caps. If you need your logo on any kind of gear, a half zip, a jacket, a hoodie, a golf shirt, a dress shirt, Sam will get you taken care of. He has over 700 uniform lines to choose from. Sammy's Embroidery and Printing. Nobody has better prices. Sam has all the big name brands, and he's the only company in Texas with one-day turnaround. So call 210-824-3900, 824-3900, or better yet, go by that massive showroom on San Pedro, a mile inside Loop 410, next to Big Lots across from McDonald's, or check the website, samsembroidery.com for Sammy's Embroidery Club.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Spring Golf Classic is set. Monday, March 25th at Golf Club of Texas. With plenty of prizes, including a shot at $50,000 in a trip to the big game. Go to sasportstar.com and get signed up. A 4-person scramble, $120 per player to join, or a group of 4 can sign up together for $400. It's the San Antonio Spring Golf Classic, benefiting the Will Smith Foundation. Monday, March 25th, presented by Flight by Yingling and 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
When you need an electrician, you know Hill Electric is available to you 24/7 for residential and commercial needs. I've used Hill Electric for a variety of projects at my house through the years. They do fantastic work and have for over 3 decades. The family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio homes and businesses. And whatever the project is you have, Hill Electric has the right service at the right price. Best part, never a service charge and always free estimates. So it costs you absolutely nothing to figure out what it will take to get a project done. Call Hill Electric, 210-404-9074, 404-9074, or hill-electric.com.
Denise has been playing jazz for 40 years. Last concert, one of the musicians fell sick with RSV. Respiratory syncytial virus, or RSV, is a highly contagious virus that can lead to breathing problems. This time, she's choosing to help protect herself with Pfizer's RSV vaccine, Abrysvo. Abrysvo is a vaccine for the prevention of lower respiratory tract disease caused by respiratory syncytial virus, RSV, in adults 60 years of age and older. Abrysvo is not for everyone and may not protect all who receive the vaccine. Don't get Abrysvo if you've had a severe allergic reaction to its ingredients. People with a weakened immune system may have a decreased response to Abrysvo. The most common side effects are tiredness, headache, pain at the injection site, and muscle pain. Ask your pharmacist or doctor about Pfizer's RSV vaccine, Abrysvo, respiratory syncytial virus vaccine. For full prescribing information, please call 1-844-989-7284 or visit abrysvo.com. Brought to you by Pfizer.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Progressive presents Flo and JD announcing a monster truck rally.
And here comes the obliterator. Whoa! And he's up on 2 wheels. That can't be safe. I don't recommend flipping your car backwards. Did he even check his blind spot? And the car's on fire. I definitely don't recommend that. This is one of my recurring nightmares.
Progressive is all about keeping it safe, so bundle your home and auto for 24/7 protection. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Coverage not provided for monster trucks. Not available in all states.
Hi, it's Jason Minix from the Blitz. Did you know your testosterone levels start to decline in your 30s? So if you're feeling a lack of energy and drive, it could be caused by low T. Get your levels tested at Synergenics. They make it quick and easy, and with the convenience of their on-site lab, you'll get your results back at your first visit. At Synergenics, you will get customized care from testosterone specialists. Book your appointment now. Go to fixmylowt.com. That's fixmylowt.com. Over the past decade, the Roof Hub has proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the UFC fights, and when you show up at the Roof Hub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and certainly the best place to watch a game. The Roof Hub is next to the Angry Elephant and in the same plaza as the Big Blind there at 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roof.
The Jim Rome Show, weekdays at noon.
I love San Antonio, man. I love it.
On 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Kind of an interesting weekend that both UTSA and UIW make national news.
Crazy.
It is. It's cool to see. UTSA baseball had a player make an incredible catch, number 4 on the Sports Center top 10.
That was positive.
Yeah. Then you had UIW last night after their game with A&M Commerce turn into an all-out brawl. And UIW makes all the national news for all the wrong reasons.
So, I mean, you know, without making light of it, because it's horrible, and we're going to talk about it, but there had to be some chippiness, I would assume, throughout the game that just, and then somebody said, yo mama.
Yeah, something. They said something. And again, for a fight to break out like that, you know, like Malice in the Palace, listening, seeing the clip, not that anybody was really watching, and very few people were actually in the stadium, which is why we haven't seen a whole lot of fan video, people just pulling out their phones, because you can see there weren't a whole lot of people there. Yeah. So you've got that one camera angle, and at one point on the broadcast, you can hear the broadcasters say a fan in the stands had been hit. So,
Yes.
you know, you've got that you're dealing with. You can see punches being thrown. It was a legit brawl. And now UIW, the Southland Conference, A&M Commerce, nobody is saying a damn word.
Well, and it's funny that you say that because we tried everybody.
Yep.
And everybody declined. We mentioned Ken's 5 is here, and everybody declined their request. So nobody's talking to anybody, and it's really unfortunate. It's unfortunate because it's a bad look for them. I mean, it's a bad look for them. Look, how hard is it to come, and I know they all issued statements, but how hard is it to just come out and say, you know what? That stuff can't happen. And until the investigation's over, this guy, that guy, and this guy are done. That's it.
When you look at, we asked Richard Duran, the UIW athletic director, to come on. He declined. We asked the coach to come on, declined. The commissioner, the Southland Conference commissioner, hasn't responded. So, you know, he's declining as well. And by all accounts, everybody from A&M Commerce is. The league is investigating, the Southland Conference is, and they're going to figure out punishment. If I'm UIW, why not self-punish? You can't have that a part of this program. And whatever the league decides to do, you'll figure it out. But at the same time, don't you have to, isn't it on UIW to discipline their players right now after what they saw last night? I mean, how much investigation do you need? We all saw the video.
I see the video, and you can spot every player that was involved in this thing. And all of those guys would have been, the sun wouldn't have come up today without some sort of look, you're out until the investigation will figure it out. But, you know, to just sit in a cocoon like UIW is doing and not talking to anybody, to me, is the worst thing that they could do.
And the reality is UIW basketball doesn't get a lot of coverage. They're in the national spotlight for all the wrong reasons. But this isn't the time to go and hide.
No.
If you're UIW. You've got to come out, you've got to own it, and you've got to come in and talk about what the discipline is. And if as a fan, I'd rather see UIW self-discipline than wait for the league. And I don't know how many players are going to get suspended. There's 5 games left in the regular season. This is a bad basketball team. They've got 3 wins in conference. They're not going to the tournament. Their season might be over.
It could be, depending on how many players they decide to get rid of. And it's the same with A&M Commerce. They're not going anywhere either. I want to see them do something. But look, the Southland Conference at the end of the day has got to come down and say, we can't have stuff like this. I get that tempers flare during games and things happen. But when it goes to the extent that it went last night, and the leaders on that team, I'm not even talking coaches, the players that are the so-called leaders, the captains, allowing that nonsense to take place for as long as it did, it's just unheard of. And the Southland Conference has got to come down on these guys. And I don't mean with a little slap on the hand. They got to come down on everybody, coaches, I mean, everybody, athletic director, players, all of them, because they're all a team.
210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. How do you think the school or the league should handle this? And again, with 5 games left in the regular season, and they're 3-11 in conference play, 8-18 overall. They're not going anywhere.
Not going anywhere, no.
But with 5 games left in the season, their upcoming opponents, that might be an important game for them. So if you're the league, do you stagger suspensions? But with 5 games left, are you looking at suspensions in the next year? You see a fight like that, that can't be a 1 or 2 game suspension. And how do you stagger it this deep into the season for a team that's going nowhere? But their next game is against McNeese State on Saturday. McNeese State is in first place in the conference. They can, you know,
and it's a tight race.
And it's a tight race. So do you look at a forfeit and an automatic win for McNeese? And then, you know, so I imagine the Southland Conference has to figure that out. But if I'm Richard Duran and I had his pair, I would be suspending my own players right now and just taking care of business, because if I'm Richard Duran, I cannot have this as a part of my program.
No, you can't. It can't go on. And, you know, we're getting comments on our YouTube channel, and some are taking up for UIW. Some are saying it was embarrassing. And I go with the latter. It's just, you can't have that happen. And And I'm really disappointed with UIW, to be totally honest with you. The way that they have just, gone into a shell and not said anything about this other than the statement they put out. And they did put out a statement. Both schools apologized. But
how hard is it to put out a statement after that saying we don't condone this behavior?
Exactly.
I mean, it shouldn't have. That should have been released within 5 minutes of the game.
And it took a while.
It took a while.
Yeah. Well, I guess you got to get the lawyers involved, right?
A joint statement. I mean, that one's in the file, ready to go, is it not? You got that saved in your draft.
Let's call the lawyers and see what they say, or get a committee together, because it seems like they did that. It's like, this is unheard of. We're going to take care of this. This should never happen. It'll never happen again. And we're going to make sure of it. How difficult is that? I just wrote their statement for them. Bam. Write it down. Yeah, send them the tape. There you go. When this happens again, you've got it.
When you think about the game, and again, we've reached out to the athletic director, the coach, the broadcasters aren't even allowed to speak publicly, which call BS on that as well. And again, who's a better witness to what they were seeing than the broadcast crew? The fact that they've been told that they're not allowed to speak, and they're under contract for UIW, so they've got to follow that. I get that. That makes sense. But when I look at what they are doing, what they are not saying is speaking louder, because they're hoping it will all go away because it's UIW, and they'll be back to not getting any attention pretty soon. The season is basically over. But for UIW, this is not the way they want to make national news.
Well, of course it's not the way they want to make national news. And the best way to fix that is to stop it right now. Bam. Put a stop to it. Suspend players, or do what you have to do to punish these players quickly. And you put a stop to it. And then the investigation goes on, and it's in the back. And I just want to say, there's a couple of people on our YouTube channel saying, UTSA is the darling of San Antonio, and that's BS. If this happened at UTSA, we'd be hammering them too if they weren't coming out and saying something and getting in front of the thing.
The same thing. And again, I look at that game, and, so not like a whole lot of people are calling in, because there weren't a lot of people at that game to begin with. And, towards the end of the game, probably even fewer. But I mean, when they're showing the crowd shots, that wide shot that they were showing there's not a whole lot of people there, not a lot of witnesses to what we saw, but which is why we wanted to talk to their broadcast team, because at least we would know, was it chippy throughout, which I believe it was, but who were some of those players that were a little more aggressive? I imagine it's on ESPN. You'll be able to go watch the game if you wanted to go figure out where it was beginning. But at the same time, did the coach not sense that? Both coaches, did they not sense that this is getting chippy? We got to make sure during the post game that we keep these guys separated, because there were people trying to break up the fight. And to see a lot of guys, all right, we'll cooler heads will prevail, but the guys were running all over the court, tracking each other down, swinging.
And that's what makes it bad. I mean, again, tempers are going to flare. It's going to happen. You're going to have that in any kind of sports. But when this continues on, and for these players to just lose their minds the way some of them did, I mean, first, it's a reflection on them. But secondly, I mean, there needs to be the accountability. And that's what we're trying to get at here. There has been no accountability thus far that we're aware of, and there needs to be, and it needs to happen fast.
What do you expect? Do you think UIW will self-punish or wait for the league to make a decision?
Well, from what we've heard today, they're going to wait for the Southland Conference to hand down the punishment. We'll let the Southland Conference be the bad guys in this whole thing.
And I could see where they would have to stagger just to be able to make sure that the games on the remaining schedule get played. I would be in favor right now of ending both the seasons for A&M Commerce and UIW.
Yeah.
Although for their opponents, they would forfeit, get a win. But I don't know how this basketball season continues for them. By watching that video, there's going to be a number of suspensions. I don't know how you feel the basketball team.
Well, the sad part about it is how many of those guys are seniors. And I hope none of them. I'll be totally honest with you. I hope none of them, because the seniors should know better. And they should know better.
Well, and here's the other part, too, as I talk about ending the season. Sucks that the actions of few will penalize many, but that's part of being a team.
It's the way it always is, isn't it?
It really is.
That is.
It is. It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. The College Football Playoff Committee has finally made a decision on what the 12-team format's going to look like next year. We'll get into that coming up here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. I know the NBA is on their all-star break right now. Spurs get going again on Thursday. You want to add more excitement to watching those games? Make sure you download the Underdog Fantasy app or get signed up at UnderdogFantasy.com and play the Pick'em game where you pick between 2 and 5 players from at least 2 different teams, and all you have to do is select higher or lower on a player's projected stats. And if your picks hit, you could win up to 100 times your money. It is a fantasy game, but it is legal in Texas. So go to UnderdogFantasy.com or download their app. Sign up using my promo code STAR, and Underdog will match your first deposit up to $100. Plus, they'll give you a mystery special pick on your first Pick'em entry. Must be over 18 and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. Again, promo code STAR at UnderdogFantasy.com.
It's the Morning Huddle with Rob and RJ.
Wednesday on the Morning Huddle, the San Antonio Spurs are back in action tomorrow. What would constitute a success across the regular season? We're going to tell you. Also, Micah Parsons continues to talk, and what do we have to say about all of his opinions on, well, quite frankly, everything? We're going to get into all of it and everything under the sun. We start at 6 a.m. Make sure to bring the coffee on the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
And paid for by America First Tax Group. Attention, if you or your business is behind in filing your tax returns, or if you owe over $10,000 in back taxes to the IRS, please listen carefully. The IRS does not joke around and will not stop their collection efforts. If you're tired of the IRS letters, levies, liens, or wage garnishments and would like to get a fresh start, we can help. Due to the financial hardships in the country, the IRS is making it easier than ever to settle tax problems for those who owe more than $10,000. We can help settle your delinquent tax problems, end all collections, and may even reduce your back taxes significantly. Even if you can't afford to pay your back taxes, you can still get the help you need. We've helped thousands of taxpayers just like you. But you must call 800-257-0663 today to stop your tax problem from getting worse. The information is free and the help is real. Call 800-257-0663. That's 800-257-0663. Again, 800-257-0663.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Quarry area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
When liberal Allen Schoolcraft served in the Texas House in the 80s and 90s, Schoolcraft voted for every Democrat House Speaker over and over again. Liberal Schoolcraft also donated thousands to Democrat Henry Cuellar, and liberal Schoolcraft authored legislation to double fees, but never cut taxes or protect life. In his last losing campaign in 1992, the San Antonio Express-News actually retracted their endorsement of Schoolcraft because he was caught lying about his opponents. Now, liberal Schoolcraft is lying about conservative John Kimple and running with a dangerous plan that defunds Guadalupe and Gonzales County schools and hikes your taxes by $2 billion. Let liberal liar Alan Schoolcraft keep enjoying his retirement from politics. Conservative John Kimple is endorsed by the NRA, Texas Alliance for Life, and every police group. Kimple cut property taxes a historic $18 billion and increased border funding by 630% to shut down Biden's open border. If it's conservative, John Kimple gets it done.
Political ad paid for by the John Kimple campaign.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack.
But not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Psst, hey, Mark, remember, getting help from Progressive is so easy. You can use the mobile app, chat with us online, or call us. And you pick now to tell me. I couldn't miss Little Grace's ballet recital. Oh, thanks for inviting me, by the way.
Did I?
Because you know I'm always here for you.
Yeah. I can use the mobile app if I need help. Sorry, you're in my wife's seat, though?
Oh, yeah, I gotta go anyway. Tell Grace she nailed her chassé.
Get the help you need from Progressive with our mobile app, online chat, or over the phone. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
On 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Let's go behind the scenes a little bit. We're Channel 5 is here in studio taping us talking about UIW and getting our reactions. We're getting interviewed as we speak. Now, Joe's mic'd up for television. Do we want to continue the television interview?
Yeah, maybe
while
right?
we're doing it live on
Can
the
we do
radio.
that?
Do you mind? You got to step closer to the microphone.
Yeah, can you come over here?
Yeah, well, you can interview Joe live on our show. This is going to be
That'd
fun.
be great.
Well, you're a TV person. Don't be shy.
Here, you want this one?
Yeah.
Pledge right here.
Yeah, just
this mic right here.
Yeah.
Now, first of all, you have to introduce yourself.
Okay.
Here, bring the mic down a little bit. It comes down. There you go.
TV people don't know how to work a
Perfect.
microphone.
I know it. It took me a year and a half to learn how to
We're
use
trying to
it.
hide from it.
Why are you doing that? Now you're going to shoot a nice stand-up.
If you're
right?
watching on YouTube, I'm going to move my camera over
Yeah, I know.
so you guys
I know
can see
you
what's
are.
going
So
on.
introduce yourself to everybody.
So, hi, I'm Rania Kaur. I'm one of the reporters with Ken's 5.
Uh-huh.
And yes, I'm covering the UIW brawl that has gone viral tonight.
Yes.
We were just talking about how you have covered UIW in the past and how this has happened in the past.
For a long time. Well, I mean, you see tempers flare, right? I mean, it happens in sporting events. People get upset and tempers will flare a little bit, but to go to the extent that it went, with this UIW A&M Commerce game is just that takes it to the next level. And the biggest problem with this is that, look, and I know everybody's got rules to follow, but you need to come out and get ahead of a story like this. And that's what's disappointing today with UIW for me is the fact that they're not getting out. Yeah, they sent out a statement. It was something they pulled out of a file cabinet. But come out and get ahead of it and say, look, this is not going to happen. We're not going to stand for it. But just to hide the way they're doing, the way it's perceived that they're doing, to me is what's wrong with this whole thing.
Let's be honest, as alumni for our universities, we usually pay attention to our college football games and our college basketball games.
Right.
Is that part of, do you think, like that protection of that college basketball and the college basketball like camaraderie? Do you think that's what's maybe delaying some of the response this time around?
I think it's more lawyers probably, and they're wanting to get the right statement and make sure that they don't get in any further trouble. It's funny because during the break, you asked Jason a question about the handshake. And I think I don't want to see that taken out. I mean, these guys are mature. They're kids, yes, but they're in their, 18 to 21, 22 years old. I mean, let's face it, at some point in time, Rose, you're playing a game out there. It's a game. It's not real life. It's a game. There should be nothing that irritates you that much that you're going to go and chase people all over a basketball floor and punch people in the stands or throw. I don't know how the young lady in the stands got hurt, but obviously, she was She was bleeding, right? And so, I mean, for all of that kind of stuff, it's just that's just bad. And for UIW to just hide today is very disappointing.
And there's even the possibility that a coach might have gotten nicked. I remember
Yes.
the
Well, I think it was a manager, if I heard correctly. So one of the and so I mean, just all of that stuff. It just got out of hand. And like these guys, they're athletes. They're supposed to be disciplined. And so that this kind of stuff to this extent should never happen.
Thank you so much, Joe.
Well, you're very welcome.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming in.
Out of curiosity, does he look like Bill Taylor to you?
No.
Thank you.
Are you? You don't have to lie.
I'm not lying.
That hesitation was incredible.
No, well,
She's
they
not
talk
lying.
similarly. They do have like similar cadences in the way
Look,
they speak,
my teeth
but they do not
are
look
together.
alike.
I don't have a gap
Everywhere
in my teeth.
we go, people ask him about Bill. Hey, Bill, what's the weather?
What's the weather? You know, we could mess each other up big time. Now, I don't know if he still gets it on his part, but he used to get it too.
Look, I don't think I will ever.
He used to get
confuse
Bill
you.
Taylor.
No,
He
well,
is
good.
Bill Taylor.
Good.
Thank you,
Good.
Joe.
Thank you guys
Jason.
for coming by. Appreciate it.
TB Joe, man.
Man, see, you've got a career in radio when that TV thing's over.
Maybe.
It's
We'll
worked
see.
out well for me. I'm just saying.
We'll see.
Hey, tell everybody hello over there, will you?
Hey, Joe, will you give them back their
Oh,
microphone?
you need your microphone?
Yeah. You're trying to kick them out so you can keep
Man,
that thing.
I know, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well,
Let's
then with
see.
your blatterman, they'd be driving
Yeah,
home
they
going, what the
would.
hell is that?
I mean, you ever see the Naked Gun? Where the dude's in there? Thank you all very
Thank
much.
you, ladies.
Bye-bye.
That won't be on at 5 or 6, but at 10 o'clock tonight on Channel 5.
By the way, guess what? That's not what they told me in here while y'all were in that segment while they were in here with me.
What?
What'd they tell you?
They didn't say anything to you at your going away party because they didn't know which one of you was Bill Taylor
I
or
know
Joe
it.
Reinick.
I know it. You see, that's how it works. That's all right.
I immediately started dying in here when
Yeah.
they told me that.
I just want to know, for those of you that were watching on YouTube and you watch every day on YouTube, did you see how Joe changed his whole demeanor as soon as he put that TV microphone on and the camera was spotted right to him?
Hey, you
I mean,
gotta
it was
do it,
just
man.
like, dude, the admiral just walked in, man. You snapped to attention. Your voice changed. Your radio voice and your TV projection completely different.
Were they different?
Yes.
I thought I talked just the same.
No.
So-
All of a sudden, you can enunciate.
So
You
wait a minute.
You talked in short, concise sentences.
So you didn't think? I didn't go off.
You
I
didn't
mean,
have a
right?
script.
I didn't.
You
go
didn't
off.
cuss because
No-
you knew
no
you were on
prompter,
television.
No makeup.
No,
nothing.
every answer was an easy edit for her later.
Absolutely.
That was good.
I got to help her out. She's new to Ken's 5.
She is.
Apparently, she started Martin Luther King Jr.
Yeah, that was
Day.
her first day.
Wow.
From the Seattle area.
How about that?
Had a job in Spokane.
Oh, I can't imagine. She
Poor
said she
kid.
started in Louisiana, then went to Spokane, and now back here to Texas. And she doesn't look that old.
Don't say anything.
She doesn't look old.
No, she doesn't.
She looks very young.
Yes.
Very nice young lady, both of them.
And the photographer, hey, you, I know you.
Iris, so she started about 2 months before I left. So I didn't get to know her very well.
Yeah, I'm that way with salespeople here.
Uh-huh.
If you in 6 months, I'll learn your name. if you're here after 6 months,
exactly.
I mean, we've got that engineer. What's his name? Has he been here 6 months yet?
Yeah, Halen's been here more than
Halen.
6 months.
Yeah, Halen.
Halen, that's his name.
Yeah.
Speaking of guys that look young.
Yes.
I thought that was Shelton's kid at first.
Well, yeah, I thought who brought their kid to work then? Although
Nice
he's
guy,
new
though.
to town, she's
Nice
new
guy.
to town.
Hey.
You could have played matchmaker.
I could have. I didn't think about that, though. That's the way it goes.
You're getting rolled on YouTube.
I know.
The comments are hilarious.
I always get rolled on YouTube. Are you kidding me?
Wow.
People are really mean to me on YouTube.
I don't know, man. I'm just still getting over, they were interviewing me and Joe thought he was out of it. And then, like, here, Joe, here's the microphone.
Uh-huh.
And first thing he did was fix his hair and check it and then put the microphone on.
Of course.
It was incredible.
Dude, I mean, I haven't been out of TV that long. You still got to realize what, you know, what's what and what you have to do. So
really weird to see him start doing makeup during the break.
I wish I had some.
Well, especially with that sunburn
I
you got.
know it, right? I didn't realize the sun was, yesterday was, I guess, pretty bright.
That's a wind burn, sir.
Is that what it is? Maybe that's it.
The sun, it was out. There was no clouds.
No.
It doesn't have to be hot to get sunburn.
Well,
I realize
apparently
you're
not.
young and you don't realize little things in life, but it can happen.
Well, it obviously did happen, Jason.
And Pledge was in the snow, and he has a sunburn.
He does, yeah.
That
yeah.
or that's not rug burn.
No,
Is
it's
that
a wind burn.
Snow burn?
Yeah, that's not a rug burn. That rug burn was a lot more apparent.
Prominent?
Yes.
With a far better story.
Absolutely. That Pledge was up there with all the snow bunnies. You know, we haven't heard any of those stories yet. Says he just went to the casino and learned how to snowboard, but you know, don't know what nightlife was like in the ski lodge.
There's a whole lot of people from Texas there.
Well,
I'm
of
sure,
course.
yeah, of course.
Of course.
So everybody wants us to come around and why they don't make gambling legal here.
Why do you want to bring me down?
Dude, I just stating a fact.
I don't know if that's still a fact, though.
It may not be.
And I think there was a time lobbyist groups spent a lot of money in Texas to keep gambling out.
Yes.
But we've had a couple of senators and politician types that have told us that's not the case anymore. Because when you look at the gambling and where it is gone, that that money isn't the same as it used to, because all these casinos now, they can put casinos everywhere and they're all going to make money. I mean, we talked about it the other day. The New York laws are so strict on their taxes, yet ESPN Bet and the company that ESPN partnered with, Penn Entertainment, I think, even with smaller margins, they know they're going to make a boatload of money in New York, so they're going in there. When you look at the vast amount of money that is available in sports gambling, it will soon come to Texas, but the lobby groups, I don't think, are fighting against it like they once were.
Let me quote Jimmy Johnson. While I'm alive.
Yeah. Well, let's face it, I have more years than you, but the reality is, I would hope so. I would hope sooner rather than later.
Me too.
And quite frankly, when we were in Vegas last week on Super Bowl Radio Row, talking to Derek Stevens, who owns Circa.
Yes.
He thinks it will be in Texas sooner than most of us realize. And he thinks Texas, because they have waited, will actually do it better than a lot of states.
Well, and look, and I think so too. It's just a matter of just bringing it to the voters. Let's do that. But again, I will go back to Mark Cuban selling his team to the casino magnates there in Vegas. They've bought land where the old Texas Stadium was. They're not doing that because they don't think gambling is going to come to Texas.
No, and again, when you think about the gambling in pro sports, having a Super Bowl in Vegas, just all, I mean, you know, every time you hit a pothole, you know, just think about it. And with college football and the changes that we're seeing in college football and the amount of gambling that's there, the NIL money, I mean, all roads come back to the dollar, right?
Absolutely.
And eventually, like college football, agreeing to allow players to make money on their name, image, and likeness, at some point, Texas politicians are going to come around and at the very least, put it on the ballot and let the voters decide.
That's all anybody wants. And if the voters say no, then so be it.
I'll be pissed, but I'll deal with it.
Sure, because we got a chance to vote. Just let that happen, and then we'll see what happens from there.
Now, a vote was taken today, and we do have a new model for college football. The College Football Playoff Board of Managers unanimously approved a model that will guarantee the 5 highest-ranked conference champions inclusion in the expanded 12-team field this fall, along with the next 7 highest-ranked teams. So it's a 5+7 format is what they're calling it, because the Pac-12 that consists of 2 teams finally decided what's in the best interest of their league.
Yeah, how do two teams
They're still a conference
from a defunct conference have so much power?
They still have a conference. They got an office. They got an email address. They got a new commissioner, and they have a vote with those two teams.
Yeah,
so
they do.
And for them, this is their best decision.
But this is good for schools in the American Athletic Conference, for example, UTSA, Tulane. Is some of the schools that have been successful there because they have an opportunity now to possibly be in a top 5 position in the playoff.
Here's what I like in this 5+7 format. And Heather Dinich from ESPN explained it very well on the Noon Sports Center today and the article that's at ESPN.com, because there are no automatic qualifiers. So remember, there was a lot of talk that of the Power 5, which that's not anymore, that they would be automatic qualifiers. And that's not the case. Because if you are let's say the Big 12 champion, but a 3-loss team and you're ranked number 10, you're not getting one of the first 4 spots.
Yeah.
The first 4 get a bye. So it's important if you're there. So I think that factors in. That's important to understand when thinking about it, because the 5+7 format you would think would assure conference champions from the SEC, the Big 10, the Big 12, the ACC would be there along with the highest ranking group of 5. And reading through it, they're not calling it group of 5.
No,
you're a conference champion. You're going to have one of those spots. Notre Dame, independent, you could be ranked number 1 in the country, but in the playoff, the best you can finish is number 5. Which is kind of interesting.
Well, maybe that will push them to, finally join a conference.
Yes, it will.
That would be nice. And obviously they've been holding out because they've been getting paid a lot of money. So it's going to be interesting, and it all starts this year. These rules are only for the first 2 years, my understanding, so they could change as we move forward. But it's going to be interesting.
Well, and look, you look at the expanded playoff and the fact that a UTSA would have an opportunity is certainly a possibility there. So certainly something to keep in mind when you're looking at it, so that we can continue to figure out the best way to make this 12-team format work. Because if you're not one of those with a bye, you're going to have to win 4 games to go win a national championship, 4 additional games.
I can't wait for this. I really can't wait. More football is good for everybody, and I can't wait. And looking at it on paper right now, I love the way it looks like it's going to work out very nicely and give us all something to watch during the regular season, and then get ready for the playoffs. I'm looking forward to it.
And again, more football, the better.
Absolutely, always. That's always a good thing. Are you kidding me?
Absolutely. We'll talk more football coming up in the 5 o'clock hour at 5:15. Shireen Williams from Pro Football Talk will join us. I'm sure we'll ask her about Micah Parsons' dominance during All-Star Weekend. And we'll hear from Micah Parsons coming up with some of the things that he said. So that coming up in the 5 o'clock hour. It is an early release day for us. We have Aggie basketball coming up at 5:30.
That was nice of Schwampy. Schedule that on a day where I'm going to the rodeo.
I don't think he actually did that for you.
I think he did.
In fact, I think the SEC probably put together the schedule, and our commitment says we've got to carry this one.
I'm going to give Schwamp all the credit.
Why are you sucking up to Schwampy?
Well, I'm not. I'm just saying that was nice of him. Schedule an early release day so I can go down and have a fried Oreo.
Is
have those there?
Is that what you're going to get?
I have no idea. That's the first thing that came to mind.
That was the first thing that came to mind.
Yeah, there's got to be some good stuff. I know there's good barbecue down there.
If you've been to the rodeo, and not inside the Frost Bank Center, but the grounds, where all the food trucks and the trailers, what's new? I haven't been to the rodeo this year. What's new? What did you try that you thought, well, this is interesting? In other words, what do you want Reineagle to eat tonight at the rodeo? If you tell us, give us a suggestion, he will do it tonight. He, within reason, especially if there's something that becomes
I'm not eating turkey fries or something like that.
Turkey fries?
Well, yeah, it's a word for turkey nuggets.
Like Rocky Mountain oysters?
Exactly.
You don't want those either?
So I don't want to nothing like that. But I do it, and I'll get pictures of it or video or something. And Gobbler's knob. Exactly. Turkey knobs.
Well, that came out of left field.
Now Carlos says strawberry cheesecake elephant ears. I don't know what that is, but I kind of had a little something more hearty in mind, Carlos. Although that might be
you
something
want some good meat.
I want some meat.
You're gonna get a Frito pie.
Sure,
I'm sure they have a Frito pie. Probably a pretty good Frito pie.
See, and I don't want a turkey leg. That's kind of a turkey leg. There's got to be something unique down there.
There's a lot of unique things out there.
Yeah, I just have to go check it out. I can't wait, man. Well, the rodeo, it starts at 7.
Sure.
And then the concerts are like 9.
You're going to be asleep by 9:40?
I could be. Sticks is going to have to keep me awake.
Are they going to be awake?
That's a good question. Like I saw REO Speedwagon downtown one night. They were doing the New Year's Eve thing. I said, man, that dude was never an attractive fella anyway, the lead singer. And he damn sure wasn't then.
An attractive feller.
Not at all.
I don't know that you've ever sounded older. And that's saying something.
An attractive fella?
Well, I mean, talking about going to see Styx, staying awake at night, and an attractive feller.
They don't do music like 70s rock. Okay? They just don't. Okay? I don't care what you say. You're Foo Fighters and Metallica and all that other stuff.
Saw Machine Head on Sunday night.
How was that?
It was fantastic.
I'm sure it was great. Machine Head. Did you wear earplugs?
No, but I was with in our group Aaron Smith, who's from the band Kingdom Collapse.
Uh-huh.
That dude pulled out earplugs and put them in.
See that?
His drummer was with us too.
Yeah.
No earplugs.
No earplugs.
Guitar tech, no earplugs. But the diva bass player, oh man, I got to put my earplugs in.
He was the only smart one of the group.
Don't tell him that though.
He was.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. If you're having any issues out your house with your plumbing, maybe your AC, I mean, it's going to be in the 80s this week. Any problems at the house, Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heating, and AC will get you taken care of. They are full service. Big job, small job, residential or commercial. Their service trucks are fully stocked and they have all the equipment needed for any job. No commission. Sales reps, they'll provide estimates and second opinions, and they have a great experienced staff that has earned an A+ ranking with the Better Business Bureau. And at Quarter Moon, they are green certified. 210-651-5899 is the phone number. 651-5899 or online at quartermoonplumbing.com.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Spring Golf Classic is set. Monday, March 25th at Golf Club of Texas. With plenty of prizes, including a shot at $50,000 in a trip to the big game. Go to sasportstar.com and get signed up. A 4-person scramble, $120 per player to join, or a group of 4 can sign up together for $400. It's the San Antonio Spring Golf Classic, benefiting the Will Smith Foundation. Monday, March 25th, presented by Flight by Yingling and 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Hey, I want to talk to you a little bit about life's unexpected curveballs. You ever been hit with challenges that kind of leave your smile in the dust? Well, I've got some uplifting news for you from Doctor's Implants. Look, life can throw some serious hurdles our way, and at Doctor's Implants, they meet patients every day facing the fallout of medical conditions causing their teeth to go south. But here's the scoop. At Doctor's Implants, they're on a mission to bring back your smile no matter what life has thrown your way. So if health-related dental problems have been holding you back, don't lose hope. Doctor's Implants is your ticket to a fresh start. Check them out at doctorsimplants.com. And when you call them at 210-640-0000, mention that I sent you, Joe Reinagle from the Blitz. Well, that's your key to a complimentary consultation and CT scan. Don't let life's challenges steal your smile. Call Doctor's Implants, 210-640-0000.
Nothing slows my little girl down, except a stuffy nose. Mommy. That's why I use Sinex Children's Saline from Vicks. Sinex instantly clears mucus in everyday stuffy little noses with a gentle, ultra-fine mist designed for kids. Just Sinex? Breathe. Her stuffy nose is gone for now. And so is she.
Sinex Children's Saline. Sinex, breathe. Use as directed, keep out of reach of children.
Some people just know there's a better way to do things, like bundling your home and auto insurance with Allstate, or hiring someone to move your piano instead of doing it yourself. So, do things the better way. Bundle home and auto and save up to 25% with Allstate.
Bundled savings vary by state and are not available in every state. Saving up to 25% is the countrywide average of the maximum available savings off the home policy. Allstate Vehicle and Property Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Hey, poker players, the Big Blind is open. With a true Vegas feel, the Big Blind is the premier poker room in San Antonio, featuring an upscale environment catering to players from all abilities. Whether you are seeking high-octane tournaments or lively cash games, the Big Blind has a game for everyone. The Big Blind at 281 in Redland Road, just down from the Rue Pub, offers daily cash games to daily, weekly, and monthly tournaments. Learn more online at thebigblindsa.com. The Big Blind at 281 in Redland Road.
Hi, I'm attorney Steve Benke. If you've made the decision to divorce, you need an experienced attorney who can help. I've helped many people get through divorce, custody, child support, and alimony problems. Call me. I'm attorney Steve Benke.
210-DIVORCE or go to BenkeLaw.com.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Progressive presents Flo and JB announcing a monster truck rally.
And here comes the obliterator. Whoa! And he's up on two wheels. That can't be safe. Oh, I don't recommend flipping your car backwards. Did he even check his blind spot? And the car's on fire. I definitely don't recommend that. This is one of my recurring nightmares.
Progressive is all about keeping it safe, so bundle your home and for 24. Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Coverage not provided for monster trucks. Not available in all states.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
KTFM Floresville. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, your home for the Aggies. San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, the San Antonio Spurs continue their rest for the week. The All-Star break continues until Thursday. That's when they continue the rodeo road trip in Sacramento against the Kings. And tonight, the Texas A&M Aggies play host to Arkansas. It's a game you can catch on your home for the Aggies. San Antonio Sports Star. It all begins at 5:30 with the pregame.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minix. Shireen Williams will join us in about 15 minutes or so.
All right. Looking forward to that.
And we'll talk a little Micah, talk a little Dak contract, because while Micah has talked a lot this offseason, Dak has not.
No.
In fact, have we heard from Dak?
I think he had a charity event not long after the Green Bay game, but I don't recall hearing anything of any relevance from him regarding football, that is.
Because today's the day that in the NFL you could start using the franchise tag, which nobody ever gets tagged on day one.
No.
Right?
No.
And Dak can't be tagged.
No.
And we'll preview a little bit of tomorrow morning's morning cuddle with Robin and RJ.
because RJ has this on his Blog and the Boys site right now. Dak Prescott could command around $60 million a year in his contract extension. Now, this is not new or really news because it's been out there for a long time. We talked about this during the season. Dak is up next. He was second in the MVP voting. His numbers are what they are. And when you look at most quarterbacks of that level, especially when the last handful that have been signed by the Lamars, Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow, they all kind of go up between 2 and 3%.
Right.
So Joe Burrow's average is $55 million a year. So to think Dak won't be at 60, that wouldn't surprise me. It's going to be the richest quarterback contract until the next one gets signed. And when you look at Kyler goes from 46, Russell goes 49, Hurts goes 51, Lamar 52 on average per year, Herbert at 52.5, and then Joe Burrow at 55. Maybe he doesn't quite hit 60, maybe it's at 57, 58, but my guess is the average is going to be around 60 because Dak's agent typically does it on nice round numbers.
It's going to be fascinating to watch and see what happens. Obviously the Cowboys, if they're going all in and that's what they want to do, Dak Prescott, I hate to say it, is your best option at this point in time.
Hate to say it.
I hate to say it.
Speak the truth, Ryan Eagle.
Because, there should have been some sort of foresight in planning for this day, but it's not. And the fact that Jerry gave Dak a contract that suits Dak to a T. He's got all the leverage in this thing. So he's probably going to be the highest paid player. How the next contract works out, though, is what I'm going to be interested to see. Is it going to be something that the Cowboys can get out of in a short amount of time, or is it going to drag on? It's going to be fascinating to see what the Cowboys do, signing their players, number one, and then will they have anything left to bring in players?
The answer, yes. They'll manipulate it to where they will this year. And again, Jerry's already told us they're going all in.
Well, that's what he said.
We'll hold him accountable to that.
Don't know what he means.
Man, none of it. Look at Dak Prescott, and he has Jerry over the barrel because he bet on himself and played on the franchise tag twice. And ultimately ends up signing a $160 million deal. He's averaging about 40 now, and he's going to get a big old raise. So when you look at that and you think about, all right, does it go 40 to 60? Joe Burrow's contract is $275 million. Herbert is $262.5. Lamar's at $260. Jalen is at $255. So what will be interesting is at 31 years old, how many years does Dak Prescott sign for? And one of the things that Dak has shown us in his contract negotiations, he likes short contracts so he can get back to the negotiating table sooner. Jerry likes long contracts. So when Jerry thinks and says that he felt like he won the last time he was dealing with Dak played on the tag twice and then signed his contract. So the years that Jerry was looking for, and the numbers honestly were in the same neighborhood, it was just done on a tag and then the contract. But here Dak is back at the negotiating table, a chance to reset the market once again. Will Jerry try to get, just throwing out a number, if Joe Burrow's at 275 and that's the highest right now, does Dak go to 285 or say 300? Is that over 5 years, 6 years, or is that over 4? And that is where Jerry will try to extend that out. I don't think Jerry has an issue signing a contract like that. If it's over years, we could spread out the cap hit, but the outs are what I will be looking for when that contract is done.
That's the key. It doesn't make any difference what the contract is necessarily. Look, Dak's going to go for everything he can get, because I truly believe he's going to be 31. If you're talking 4 years down the road, this is the biggest contract he's going to get. He's not going to reset the market at age 35 again. So Dak's got to know that he's going to be, this is his last big deal as a quarterback anywhere, whether he stays with Dallas for the rest of his career or he ends up playing later in his career with somebody else.
And again, you look at, Matt Stafford at 36, Aaron Rodgers is 41, Kirk Cousins is 36. They're, like Patrick Mahomes, is now, believe it or not, 29. And they're talking about redoing his $450 million deal, which is a bit of an outlier. Miguel on our YouTube says, forget the extension. They should restructure it. Dude, he's got 1 year left. There is no restructuring this thing. It's at the end. I know he's got some voidable years on the end of this, but he's either this year playing on this deal because it expires or he's getting a new contract. Guaranteed money. And what are the outs? Those are the things to look for when Dak gets his deal. We'll talk more about it coming up with the great Shireen Williams from Pro Football Talk when she joins us here in just a couple of minutes. We do have tickets to give away to see Shogun, an advanced screening happening on February 22nd, so 2 days from now. So that's Thursday night. Win a pair of tickets and free popcorn and free drinks. Just be caller number 7 right now, 210-656-ESPN. 656-3776.
Want to talk to you, though, about Stevens Roofing, because really there's only one name in roofing that stands high above the rest. That is Stevens Roofing. Look, a quality roof overhead by Stevens Roofing means comfort. It means confidence. It means peace of mind. Protection for all the things that you love. Look, if you're in the market for repairs, a replacement roof, an upgrade, or if you just want somebody to check out your roof to make sure it's okay, you want to work with the experienced team that brings local roots, value, and a vast knowledge of the craft to every job. That's Stevens Roofing. Commercial, residential, they do it all. A wide variety of materials for all of South Texas. Call Stevens Roofing, 210-785-0994. You can also get them online at stevensroofing.net. Again, if you've got an issue with your roof, any kind at all, Stevens Roofing is the company to call. 210-785-0994.
This is Rob Thompson. I'm here with my brother, Jason Thompson, a lawyerforus.com.
I'm a lawyer for you. I've helped you.
Yes, he has, and many others here in San Antonio. And that's why I'm so glad I get a chance to talk to you today about what happens when you get into an accident.
It's overwhelming for everybody involved. You have this paralysis of what to do next, who to talk to, how do you get medical care, or you're in the hospital and who's going to pay for this? It's this swirl of anxiety, and many times it's even worse than the injury itself. You have to help people through that situation. And I tell every client the same thing. Don't worry. I've got this. I will take care of this. Just worry about your family. Just worry about getting healthy. If I can do that for you and maximize your recovery, you stay in business, you keep clients. And for 30 years, I've kept every client I've ever had. I don't lose clients. I represent their family and friends because that's how seriously I take my job.
A lawyerforus.com. You can find him at 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400. Jason Thompson, a lawyerforus.com.
If you're a man and you live in San Antonio or the surrounding areas, you need to pay close attention to what I'm about to say. Are you having issues rising to the occasion? Do you constantly worry about whether or not you can perform? Have you completely stopped having adult time? Is it something you just don't talk about? Guys, we have a solution. Mojo, the 100% guaranteed male enhancement pill that's fast, effective, and was designed to reignite passion, performance, and confidence in the bedroom. Yeah. Be ready at a moment's notice with the Mojo Male Enhancement Pill from Pure Line Nutrition. And for those of you who have used Mojo, check out Mojo Enduramax. Touchdown! A new formula that improves the potency and effectiveness of Mojo. Get fast results, last longer, and be the man she'll never forget. Mojo and Mojo Enduramax, 100% natural male enhancement formulas only available at Pure Line Nutrition. Call now, 210-494-2210. That's 210-494-2210. Or visit us online at thepureline.com.
When a cold comes on strong, try DayQuil's Severe Honey Flavor. The daytime coughing, aching, stuffy head, fever, Honeylicious, power through your day medicine. Powerful cold and flu symptom relief with a Honeylicious taste, so a cold won't slow you down. Get back to your day feeling relieved, enjoying the delicious flavor of DayQuil Severe Honey. DayQuil Severe Honey flavor soothes your symptoms with a delicious taste. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
This is Rob Thompson. I'm here with my brother, Jason, a practicing attorney in San Antonio for 30 years. Jason, what does that mean?
What it means is I've been representing people and families here in San Antonio injured in auto, truck, motorcycle collisions, serious injury, death accidents, taking those families and helping them through some of the worst times of their life. I've been practicing law in San Antonio for so long. I remember when the Cowboys were champions.
Seriously.
And a great staff that handles kind of the blocking and tackling of what it takes to represent clients. There are so many phone calls that need to be made, so many connections you have to have between insurance companies, physicians, opposing lawyers, relationships that you build over 30 years with adjusters, with insurance companies, with defense attorneys, with local judges. When I represent a client, they know that I'm lending my name, my reputation built on 30 years of experience to that client to get them justice.
It's Jason Thompson, alawyerforus.com. Call him at 210-900-0400, alawyerforus.com.
Hey, it's Jim Rome, and it's great to be back in San Antonio. Join me weekdays at noon on my new home, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minnick. February 20th. Tag day. Tag day. Dak can't get tagged, but the talk about his new contract is going to start heating up. Let's talk about it with the great Shireen Williams from Pro Football Talk, joining us now on the Buyers Barricades guest line. Shireen, I do think the Cowboys will give Dak a deal. It will reset the quarterback market. The question that I'm really curious of is, how long do you think it will take for Jerry and Dak's representatives to iron out said new deal?
Well, the last one took 2 years, a little over 2 years. So they don't have that long. So I don't know. And Jerry talk at the combine. While they're there, especially Jerry, he's going to give us a little more insight probably into how that looks. But it's a great question of when that gets done. But they need to do it obviously sooner than later so that they can get some of these big contracts done and be active in free agency and get below the cap. That's the first thing they have to do is get below the cap. And redoing by giving Dak Prescott a new deal would go a long way in getting that done.
You know, Shireen, it's interesting, and obviously Dak is one issue that the Cowboys have. CD Lamb's another, Micah Parsons as well, depending on how quickly they want to get that done. You know, I look at the numbers that you were looking at with just those three guys that we talked about, and I'm wondering, and I know there's magicians sometimes when it comes to the salary cap, but will there be enough to add the pieces that they need?
Well, that's a great question, and Jerry's talked a lot about that, you know, you've got to figure out how CD wants to be paid as the highest paid receiver, and Micah wants to be paid as the highest paid edge rusher. Micah, I would say, deserves it. I'm not sure CD Lamb, if I'm starting to name, I know he made All-Pro. He's on my All-Pro ballot. Don't get all riled up, but you start naming the top three receivers. I don't have him in the top three receivers. I mean, Justin Jefferson was hurt all year. Let's be realistic. Justin Jefferson's a better receiver than CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb is really good. Does he deserve to be paid as the highest paid receiver in football? I don't think so. But the market is what the market is, and you're worth whatever somebody will pay you. So if that's what he wants, and he's going to hold out to get it, or whatever he's going to do to get it, or to threaten to leave, or to wait and be franchise tag, or play it like Dak Prescott did and bet on himself, that remains to be seen. But there's only so much money to go around. At some point, you're cutting corners at other positions to pay those guys. Me personally, I'm not sure I pay a receiver. I just think you can find, again, CeeDee Lamb's really good. I had him on my all-pro ballot. I just think at some point you have to make some really hard decisions. And I think receiver and running back, to me, are positions that you can go find guys in the draft who are really good. And so that I don't know that I'm going to spend a big portion of my salary cap on the receiver position. That's just me. But you've got to have receivers unless you have Patrick Mahomes, who may do with the receivers he may do with. You've got to have those receivers. And we saw what happened to the Cowboys when they let Amari Cooper walk away. $20 million looks like a bargain right now per year. But that's what those cap guys are paid to do, is make all this stuff work. And when you have really good players, this is what happens. Like, you have to pay them. So how they're going to do that and fit all this under the cap, I don't know. The Dak Prescott contract, again, just has them over a barrel. I mean, it does. And it was a bad contract for the Cowboys. And now they're backed into a corner, having to redo that as soon as possible to make room for other deals. And if they had paid Dak what they should have paid him the 2 years that it took to do the deal, so in other words, if they had paid him 2 years earlier, they would have been in much better shape. They would be in much better shape right now, but they didn't. For 2 years, they didn't pay him. The sooner you can pay players, the less it's going to cost you in the long run, because the price tag's only going to go up. It's not going to go down unless the player really stinks. And if you're certain that those players are going to be, Micah Parsons is a good example. In my mind, they need to pay him sooner than later, because that price tag is only going to go up. He's a great player. We already know he's a great player. He's on a Hall of Fame track. I'm paying Micah Parsons as quickly as possible.
No, that said, Shireen, and I don't disagree with that if I'm getting a lot of years on that deal, which is what Jerry likes. Dak likes shorter contracts so he can get back to the table a little bit sooner. So where is the give and the take when it comes to, obviously Jerry with Dak, but if you're thinking about Micah this offseason?
Yeah, and again, that's what I would do. I don't think the Cowboys do much. I think they make Micah wait. I think they do CeeDee Lamb, and I think they make Micah wait. That's what I think happens. I'm saying if it was me, I'm paying Micah Parsons, because I think it's costing me less today to pay Micah Parsons than it's going to cost me a year from now. So that's what I want to do. I want to get that deal done and know that he's going to be here for the long term, because I've seen everything I need to see from Micah Parsons, and that's a position that you need a great player on your team. Now, you look at Chris Jones. I know he's a defensive tackle, but the Chiefs are about to probably let Chris Jones walk away because they feel like they can replace Chris Jones. And those are the kind of decisions that you have to make, and they're hard. And why do you let that guy walk away? You have to. I mean, that's the way it's set up with the salary cap. Now, the good news is, as we reported earlier this week, the salary cap looks like it's going to be closer to $250 million, and that's great for the Cowboys and great for every team in the NFL. So if that's the case, there's a little more room to maneuver, and maybe you get some more deals done. But it all goes back to Dak Prescott deal. They've got to get that done first before they can start talking about anything else.
Yeah, you bring up a great point, Shireen. Tyreek Hill is a perfect example. The Chiefs let him go, and everybody thought they were nuts, and here they're Super Bowl champions again. I want to ask you about DeMarcus Lawrence and his comments. I think it was on Radio Row during the Super Bowl about the Cowboys were tired. I mean, and I know Micah Parsons responded to that and said you shouldn't say that out loud in public. What do you think about D-Law saying that?
Well, I mean, every team played 17 games, right? The Packers were playing for their lives at the end of the season. So the Cowboys were tired. I'd say the Packers were probably more tired, and they sure didn't look like it. So I think that's something the coaching staff and the training staff probably are going to have to address with him or whatever the case may be. Those comments did not look good from the Cowboys' point of view or from DeMarcus Lawrence's point of view. I just don't think they. Again, if it's true, it's not something you say out loud. But now that he said it out loud, you've got to question the Cowboys' training methods and everything else if it's true. So somebody definitely needs to talk to him and see what he within the organization and see if they don't need to yes, maybe chastise him, but you need to more get to the bottom of why he said that and why he feels like that. Did he feel like the training staff didn't do a good job? What does he think they need to do so they don't have tired legs next year? That's just not a good excuse. Again, it's not something you say out loud if it was true, but hopefully it's not true, because if it's true, I have some real questions about the Cowboys.
Well, and it makes me question the mental toughness of DeMarcus Lawrence, to be honest. I mean, you think about, there's always the terminology, do you want that guy in your foxhole? And the answer is no. If he can't gear up for the postseason, as great as he is, I don't want him on my team. I don't know if that's a team problem. I'm glad you brought that up, or if that's an individual problem with D-Law right now. And of all the things Micah has called out teammates for and thrown them under the bus that I've been mad at him for, I'm actually kind of happy with his response to this one.
Yes, absolutely. And I think it's something as a team leader that Micah Parsons needs to address with DeMarcus Lawrence and get to the bottom of it and why he feels like that. You're right. Is it a personal problem? Is that just something that DeMarcus Lawrence is the only player on the team who felt like that? And why did he feel like that? And why was that the case? What's he doing to prepare himself? And did he go hard every single play in the postseason? That was the first postseason. That was the wild card round. It's not like they had played, the wild card round, the divisional round. They're in the championship game, and they play all these games, and they're really tired. Like, that was the first game of the postseason. So I don't understand it. I don't understand his comments, and I look forward to having him maybe address that more with beat reporters on exactly what he meant, and is it just him, or is it other players on the team who felt the same way?
Shireen, I've got to ask you this question, because I think you listened to D-Law and what he said, and he didn't seem like the only one that was tired in that ball game. It looked like a lot of guys were just kind of tired and not ready to play. It's a culture issue in my mind. And Jason and I talked about this today. I think the Cowboys did Mike McCarthy a disservice. You either fire the guy or extend him. I mean, I see him going into this season as a lame duck coach, and I think they did him a disservice. What do you think?
Well, I think this is what they do. And if you sign up to coach the Dallas Cowboys, this is what you have to expect. I mean, this is what Jerry's done now for 3 contracts in a row. He let Jason Garrett's contract run out twice, and now he's letting Mike McCarthy's contract run out. And you're playing, obviously, for his job, coaching for his job right now. So this is what it does. Whether you like it or don't like it, it's kind of beside the point. It's when you sign that contract, you know what you're getting into. He's not going to buy out your contract. That's how long you're going to get to prove yourself. And if you don't, he's just not going to renew the contract. You're done. You're not going to get any payoff. He's not going to be that. I mean, we've just seen it. How many years now is that? What are we at? Almost 2 decades, 14, 15 years. We're into this thing, and this is what he's done. So there's no surprise to it. It is what it is. He doesn't like buying out contracts, and he hasn't done it in a really long time. So, Wade Phillips was the last one he did, and guess what? His replacement was already on staff, so he didn't have to go out and spend a lot of money on that. So this is just what he does, whether we like it or not. This is the way it is. And when Mike McCarthy signed up for this job, he should have known that's the contract he was going to get, and that's how long he had to prove himself. And if he doesn't this year, then they'll have another coach next year, and Jerry won't have to pay any money to pay off Mike McCarthy.
Shireen Williams from Pro Football Talk joining us here on the Blitz. Speaking of former coaches, Jimmy Johnson on a Miami radio station is back in the fold with the Cowboys. Now, joking that he's on the advisory board, I don't think Jerry has one, but I do like hearing that Jerry is seeking advice from Jimmy once again.
Yeah, it sounds like that he consulted with him about Mike McCarthy, the way Jimmy made it sound, and I do think that's great. I think he needs somebody like that he can lean on, who will give him the honest answers. And he might not want to hear it, but Jerry listens to everybody. And he, I just remember one time Rick Goslin had told him some draft advice. I don't even remember who the player was or whatever. And Jerry took that to heart, what Goose had said, and Goose was one of the best at draft prep. And so he hears everything and he listens to everything and he takes it into consideration. Now, he may not always do it, but, I'm glad it's Jimmy giving that advice because I think Jimmy's going to give him really good advice. And I think that's going to be a help for Jerry moving forward. And I'm with you. I think their relationship has changed. I think that the chill is off. It's thawed a little bit. And I like what I'm seeing from those two. And I think maybe there's a friendship renewed now.
Which is good, I think, for everybody to see that. Make sure you follow Shireen Williams on Twitter or X at NFL Shireen, reader at Pro Football Talk. Shireen, always appreciate it. Never a dull moment in the Cowboys offseason. We'll talk to you next Tuesday.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it. The great Shireen Williams on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond, online at buyersbarricades.com.
Interesting stuff there. And she's right. I mean, that's what Jerry does when it comes to coaches. I just think, maybe Jerry ought to change up a little at times. I just think with Mike McCarthy right now, I think the culture of the Cowboys is not good. And I'm not going to blame all of that on Mike McCarthy, but I think a lot of it is in his lap. And that culture just bad. That culture is not good. And we saw it in that Green Bay game.
Yep.
Fire him or extend him.
Maybe when Dak gets his extension, they'll announce Mike McCarthy too.
Maybe so.
Dak said, if you're getting rid of Mike, you got to get rid of me.
Yeah.
Extend us both. We're out early today. Joe's off to the rodeo, and we've got Aggie basketball coming up next as they take on Arkansas.
Of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at tra.com or call 800-575-67